What up, homies? We got Biddy B, we got Lucy, we got Neuchern. We got Jimmy echoing because he's listening with speakers instead of actually playing the game. It's stream sniping Jimmy. Can't believe that. It's very funny because I can hear them in Discord, but you guys can't. So I'm gonna pipe you guys in their comms every so often, unless it gets to the point where I can't concentrate on casting and doing other things. So we'll see. We'll see if I can interpret what they're saying. Then that's fine. But that's a good way to if I hear them talking. Yeah, there's already some discussion about that. Yeah. Featuring Blizzard Entertainment. Yeah, that's right. Oh, got him. We got some interesting things going to happen today. We just released a new update. We're going to start off in competitive. I think we're going to go to faction wars pretty soon, since we do have some cool faction units to show off. Maybe we'll get there, but for right now, we got a strange gaggle of people. We got Rainarol, we got I don't know who Wen is, and I don't know who Blizzard Entertainment is. We got Jimmy, we got Tudor, a relatively new player. We got Smarty, and we got P-Sense. So let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and start because I think a lot of people are. Hopefully everybody's here. And that's a good enough way to start things off for my money. Let's see what ends up happening here, because in our haste, we have glossed over the fact that I think many of these players ended up selecting random, but I was not actually paying too much attention. So here we go. We've got Tudor in the top left, our newcomer who's played like 3 multiplayer matches. I think he's played more than that, but that's all right. He seems to be our... is this Chestnut? Oh, Burnt Umber, an interesting color. He is the Protoss in the top left. At 12 o'clock, we have Wen, our Palatinate Blue Protoss. I have no idea who that is. Maybe we'll identify them based on playstyle. Raynaril is our Dark Sapphire Terran. In the top right, our Stalwart. At the mid-right, sort of 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock position, we have Smarty Cakes, the Yellow Terran. And in the bottom right, his neighbor, Blizzard Entertainment, as... Is this Alice Blue? Arrow Terran. Now, down in the bottom of the map, we have Jimmy. This is Jimmy. It is Purple Terran. And in the bottom left, we have P-Sense, the Vine Green Terran. There you go. So, what did I didn't guess this one correctly, and I didn't guess this one correctly, but I got everything else. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Cranking Down will not run me over. So let's see what ends up happening. We've got a lattice start for Wen. A double lattice start. Okay, this could be 3-Crow, but I feel like he wouldn't name himself simply Wen. So I'm not sure who that is, actually. I'm still going to say it's not 3-Crow. We do indeed have a Fulcrum start for Raynaril. We'll see if he can hold against the wanton aggression of his Protoss neighbors. Of course, there is going to be a Gateway and then a Lattice from Tudor. So he's going to be rather multidisciplinary there. And we got a bunch of Fulcrums. We got a Fulcrum for Jimmy. We got 2 Fulcrums for Blizzard Entertainment. Maybe this is Hit 'em Up, actually. I don't know. We'll have to see. I saw him in the lobby, so he could very well be that man. Fulcrum into Palladium. Starpad. Okay, P-Sen's going to go a little bit greedy. He's getting the most expensive sort of start you could get, and he has no combat units whatsoever. I can report so far that the comms have been silent. Every player is deep in concentration, doing their best to focus on their opening build strats. I'm sure there will be some comms that grace my ears, and I will filter them to you once we get to the point where combat is undergone. Let's see if this is Hit 'em Up after all, as the Vulture does come on in. Just scouting. Just saying hi. It's Smarty Cakes going Eidolons off the Covenant. Very interesting. Dewey Gang on Jimmy, as always. Very good, very good. A couple Vultures from Raynaril. And it looks like Tudor setting up for a potential expansion. Oh, those mines from Raynaril actually caught a... Indeed, actually caught a Vulture. And it looks like, I will say this must be Hit 'em Up, because he says that... his APM is high enough, and Yellow is banned for making Eidolons. Yeah, that's something that Hit 'em Up does not like. Hit 'em Up really hates the Eidolon. So I think we've identified our bottom right player, and thus our favorite for the match. But he's playing as Terran and not Protoss this time, so we'll see how that goes. A third Lada starting for Huen. Still don't know who the hell that is. And we got, I see Top Ramen in the chat there. Obviously, I said hello to Ben and Neuchern earlier. Rainerel spotting a couple of opportunities here. But that is an anchor full of Eidolons. Oh, the Vulture can't quite get behind the minerals. Map Imba. And it looks like he's only going to be good to do a little bit of light economic disruption with his 4 Vultures. That kind of leaves Tudor in a good spot to drop a Nexus if he wants to, though he is going to have to deal with whoever Wen is. Eidolons and Anchors. Huh. Nobody would have guessed. Let's see, we do have a Palladium coming for Rainerel. Looks like he's going to be looking to use Phalanxes. Dead Vultures. Huh. Jimmy confirming nobody in the sort of mid-left area there. Got vassals. We got all sorts of stuff. The Warden shooing away Jimmy at the choke. Tudor has found his nemesis, apparently. One thing that's really interesting to me is that there was a guy who also went by the name Tudor, but it was like some other string of some string of numbers. I never really identified who it was, but they used to hang around in my dev streams a lot. And it didn't really feel it didn't really feel like what you would expect from a gentleman, I'll just say that much. He was just a bit of a strange person. Now, Wen is not quite macroing properly here, or microing properly here with his vassals. He actually had a lot of delays there. Tudor now under assault. He's going to have to pull his idols for splash damage out. He's doing a good job by pulling his scribes away, but he's not waypointing them onto minerals or anything. So, as a result, we are going to see the idol's efficaciousness versus the vassals. That's definitely a big move there. But I just wanted to point out that he could have actually drilled his scribes to the natural there by right-clicking one of the resources, and that mineral walk makes them decollide, right? It doesn't make them provide collision. That would have let his reinforcements get there a little bit faster. But his Warden does end up going down. It definitely bought some time. Wen now going to come back in, and hey, there is a single idol here. There is a single idol. It's on a rally point. Needs to scramble to the natural, but Tudor was not paying attention to the minimap. He's lost 3 workers in really a blink of an eye, and more might be on the menu here for our Platinum Blue Protoss. Does he want to feast on the scribes? The 4th one goes down. I feel like combine that with the dead workers over here in the lost mining time, it's definitely pretty significant. We're going to need to see Tudor's worker count jump up a little bit more. Now, hit him up in the bottom right is closing in on 40. He's got a great minefield. He's dropped the Madrigal. He's got a Watchdog coming. Double capping the Sieves. He is going to be ready. Meanwhile, plenty of vassals going down the way of the Dodo. And it looks like we do indeed have a little bit of a Vulture Phalanx push over here. He's already forced the lift off on one of these stockades. Rainerel gonna be rocking it. Well, he gets peppered down by the Eidolons. There's 4 of them there. He's going to need to deploy those. There's actually a lot more than just that, where that came from. But it looks like that stockade won't be too long for this world. We have another 3 ministries. Yeah, that's definitely hit him up. Worker meta returning as the tier 2 is coming on. But look at this. The Phalanx is getting shellacked. The Vultures need to decloak it so that the Phalanx can splatter them. Is it going to be enough? They do dive forward using the architecture of Smarty Cakes' base against him. He's diving onto those Eidolons, but he only ends up picking what it feels like maybe 4 of them. And now he's going to need to pack up and get lost. Meanwhile, the vassals are continuing to heckle Tudor, who still has not really climbed in workers, but he is making some more. Right now, Jimmy and P-Sense are maybe in a stalemate. I'm not really sure what I'm seeing. No, it looks like Jimmy's just typing in general, but I'm not really 100% sure what we're expected to see there. Now, a Cantor has been made by Wen. P-Sense still rocking the Goliath Anseals in the meanwhile. We got a lot of manifolds here, dude. What's happened over here? He's actually been farming Sims, apparently. Very wounded Sims at that. And the Cantor will go ahead and break Tudor's lines. Rainerel still going to be pivoting in a direction to punish Smarty for making Eidolons. Meanwhile, hit him up pushing forward with his Palladium army. It's a pretty greedy build, but that's hit him up style, I feel like, when he can get away with it. He's been left alone. He's under a guise that people are going to be like, oh, who would ever kill Blizzard Entertainment? Unfortunately for Tudor, it does look like his time on this Earth may be expiring. The vassals are standing by to pick off straggling scribes. Meanwhile, we've got Wraith Anseal as a stack, P-Cent's going to have to be pulled back and see what he can do with this, but there's no splash damage. Oh, he flies right over the horde. A couple of Anseals going down, coupled with those Wraiths. That is unfortunate. Well, Tudor's natural is going to be brought to justice. He doesn't have many combat units here. He's adding 1 Matrix, but he definitely needed to get more production, right? He's got a lot of minerals. Could have added a lot more gateways, so struggling a little bit. Growing pains. It looks like he will be the first to fall here. Rhaenyra still massing up the Phalanxes. Has some Vultures, has some Goliaths. Looking good there. Poor Tudor. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to think or say. He's gonna pull the workers. Pull the workers versus the Akantar. Oh, first hit. Good. And the second one only gets 1 kill. Could have been a little bit more so, but yeah, the one Warden is not going to hold off against all of these Protoss forces. A little bit of a dance here with the Wraiths and the Anseals, but it looks like we've got plenty of resistance there. As the Phalanxes get ready to shell. Oh no, the Tensenders are coming! He's going to put Eidolons in Tensenders! You could put 10 Eidolons in that! No, poor Tudor. He has been defeated. It had to announce it about 7 times. That's a wrap there. Well, we might see Smarty Cakes getting the same level, same little treatment there. Jimmy, avenge me. What the fuck? I think that's grass, actually. Oh, the Tensender is here. It's gonna see if it can hold the fort. There's so many Phalanxes, though. There's 10 Eidolons in that bad boy. That puppy. Oh, shellacked. Quick, get into the other Tensender. Get into the other Tensender. There's only 3 of them that survived. But hey, it's a formidable foe. Looks like maybe Jimmy thinking about moving over to that other spot, but as of right now, it looks to me like the Ministry is definitely going to get deployed there. Okay. With the Goliaths here, yeah, the Eidolons are not going to be able to do too much there. It's a splattering, a shattering. Glitching out. Sure, Smarty. I was below your... yeah, he was blocking the... he's blocking the land. How is he double teamed? He fought against 1 guy. That's very funny. Well, the Phalanxes are definitely providing a good amount of power here for P-Sense, but I don't think he can match Jimmy's production. He's definitely going to have to think a little bit more about this. He lost a lot of resources in his Wraith stack earlier, remember. The last of the Wraiths have indeed been more or less dealt with. There is the 1 vassal, and it actually stops the Ministry for P-Sense. A little bit of heckling from the free-for-all. Just an annoying little gnat there. All right, there's 1 Sentinel left. I think that's pretty much a wrap as far as production structures for Smarty. Rhaenyra's got a lot of money in the bank, and hey, look at this. Grass Eater is in the top left. He has taken over that position. Unorthodox to see Grass Eater playing Protoss, but, you know, we've seen stranger things lately. And I'm not talking about the TV show. Tudor has a prediction for us. The 1 Atlas for Smarty Cakes is going to go ahead and float. Hit him up just building Palladiums in this position. I love it. Well, that Ministry is not long for this world, and that is the final production structure for Smarty Cakes. He will be our second to be defeated. See ya, nerd. And that is a wrap for that. Well, Rhaenyra is going to find out the hard way that he's tickling the Hornet's Nest there. Or will he? I mean, hit him up as kind of a stationary person right now. Yeah, he's actually going to go ahead and... Oh! Nice! The Phalanx is from the other side. Suddenly, you just get shellacked. Impressive. Impressive. What's going on, Black Iris, and what's going on, Toyota? I don't know what Goblin Mode on Toast means, but I hope you enjoyed it, whatever it was. I just had my breakfast, too, at, 3 p.m. I don't eat until later. Oh! He bopped his own unit. With Cyclops, no less, so he almost killed multiple units. Very unfortunate. The Anseal is going to get shellacked. Only 1 of them left, it seems like. There's a bunch of Goliaths back here that P-Sense could be using. Oh, but he's getting torn apart at the front. Definitely a little bit rough here as the Phalanxes on the other side of the river. Happening quite a bit. Talk about a water war. Jimmy getting tier 2 as he's slowly being forced back. He doesn't really have that many combat units other than the 4 sieged Phalanxes that he has over here. P-Sense could try to force the issue, but he's going to wait for his Shamans to heal him up. He's got more reinforcements. Definitely needs to get on saturating that natural. Our Protoss player up here in the top left is getting plenty of action here. Again, I suspect this player of being Grass Eater. He is going for many production structures there, Argosies. But we've got Tier 3 Bio on the menu for Hit 'em Up. He has gotten to Tier 3. He's been capping. He's been getting his gas. And now P-Sense is pushing Jimmy in. Despite the losses with those air units earlier on, he might still be able to overwhelm. This is Jimmy. The last of his phalanx is falling. He does have more being produced. 2 more just pop out. He's going to need to get him deployed ASAP, and right now he's kind of letting him wander into the wrong neck of the woods, the wrong neighborhood. A couple of damaged Shamans are going to be body blocking for now. Expensive little coasters there, if you will, but definitely more than a paperweight when it comes to their healing. Now, at this point, our Dark Sapphire Terran and our Palatinate Blue Protoss are duking it out, revealing their presence. There's only a couple of phalanxes to guard this natural, but plenty of lobotomy mines to slow the assault. And Hit 'em Up is leaving the building. Hit 'em Up is starting to push out of his own natural. Ooh. 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 Oh, blocked by the Ant Seal. Oh, shattered and broken. Fucker, says Jimmy. Yeah, that feels about right. Still no comms, by the way. I haven't heard a single peep out of our players this whole time. Very surprising. I thought they'd be a bit more talkative. Maybe they've gone silent out of respect for my casting or something. I'm not sure, but I have been sitting here. No, they're okay. I surrender. He says, "What are your terms?" I don't think P-Sense wants to ally, but maybe we'll see. Death! No. Say GG, Jimmy. All right, well, besides our Tosses, it looks like Hit 'em Up is going to deploy his Tier 3 infantry and his phalanxes. He's taking over the smiley face in the middle of the map. So the bullet was appearing outside of the realm of the map, so that was pretty good. That's a funny bug. Oh shit, the Cantors are getting a little bit of farming going versus the Dilettantes. Oh, but the Tier 3 Bio is immediately going to turn Mr. Rainarel back around. I didn't catch to see if they actually... It looks like they did trade down their militaries. He has class 2. No, he is class 3. P-Sense is class 3. Come on now. Can't be lying. A couple of phalanxes are trying to hold down the fort, but it looks like Smarty Cakes' natural will be Hit 'em Ups as he pre-caps the gas. Something considered rather halal. Or no, haram. Haram. Smarty is dead, but his spirit lives on in the form of many Solarians and an Ancestral Archives. Tier 4 Protoss being achieved. I surrender, you slime ball. Kill. I like the cut of P-Sense's jib. He's a cool guy. 53 workers, dude. Look at the workers. 204 workers for Mr. Hit 'em Up. Blizzard Entertainment himself. My dad works at Blizzard, and his name is Hit 'em Up. Well, Hit 'em Up is old enough to be Jimmy's dad, I think, but not my dad. It looks to me like this will be a wrap for Jimmy. He's going to have to hightail it out of here. He did make a mantle. Oh, the Ministry getting focused down here. Good play from P-Sense. This mantle's just going to kind of be lingering in like halfway territory here. And that Ministry will burn down, if it even... Oh. Pop. Protoss, no. Oh my god. The Solarians are descending. Can Rainarel survive? His Masons sure can't. He's got a good Goliath count here. That's going to be a lot of Solarians to chew through, though. He doesn't really have any splash damage, no Madrigals. He's got some Olympians that he should probably get in the fight. The Witness spotting over here. Silent treatment. And there goes Jimmy. It's a wrap for him. Iron Foundries. Future stations. Are we going to see the interminable Penumbra spam? I hate this game. Jimmy, unfortunately. He's gonna be waxing sad. Sad boy time for Jimmy. Should not attack me next time. It's true. Madrigals are getting onto the front lines, but they're not really quite able to be in the right numbers here. Oh, that Madrigal is being healed by so many clerics, though. It might actually help to turn the tide. These Goliaths still down here, not really able to be wiped out entirely. Look at that. The stewards need to rebuild. Finally, the assault of the Solarians is over, but the vassals have just begun to pick apart Raineril's mineral line. Defenseless against the aspect of Three Crow. Oh, he deployed as he had no health. Very unfortunate. Well, Hit 'em Up is going to go ahead and continue getting more and more build space under his belt. He's going to probably start dropping a ridiculous number of production structures over here. Let's see. What's he making? Oh, it's just watchdogs. Oh, it makes sense. He knows that there's Solarians, so he's expecting that, like, they've probably pushed through here. Somebody's having an internet trouble. That's all right. We're back. Or are we? Maybe not. So Raineril's worker count is the lowest in the lobby right now because of that, besides the people who've already been eliminated. P-Sense hasn't really been able to develop his position anymore, so even though he invested a lot in killing Jimmy, it's kind of, that's kind of all he had, right? That he didn't really have that much there. So he doesn't have a great follow-up, especially to breach the position that Hit 'em Up now occupies. And now, with Hit 'em Up charging forward with Dilettantes and Silver Tongues are going to be great choices versus Solarians, by the way. Right now, the Engrams are getting a lot of mileage versus the Dilettante squad. But if the Dilettantes had been with the Silver Tongues, I think you would have seen a very different position here. Even still, the right now the Silver Tongues are being cleaned up, but there's plenty more where that came from. Plus, we've got Penumbra to do their splash damage to the air stack. They will wipe out the Stewards and then the Solarians themselves. Even still, killing, what, like 6 Solarians, 5 Solarians? That's nothing to scoff at there. Definitely a good investment to basically staunch the bleeding that the lobby would have been experiencing if the Sky Toss got out of hand. Not a whole lot going on here at the, I guess, 4th base for our Protoss player. And now he's going to try to push forward with his wounded Solarian count. We've got Sentinels, but we don't have any Watchdogs. Need something to deal with all that air threat. Raineril does not have the income to sustain himself against such wanton hatreds. But the Watchdogs are going to move forward and just land offensively. Hit 'em Up using the most amusing strategy possible to try to counter them. Let's see. Yeah. Free landing. Yeah. That's right. They're going to clean house. See ya later. Penumbra splash damage. The witness is down as well, so no detection. Not that it really matters right now. All right. Well, basically, Raineril's going to get routed by this Sky Toss army, but it will need to be recalled to have a chance at protecting itself from Hit 'em Up's forces. And it looks like, for now, Raineril survives. He says GG's, but, you know, he said that before and stuck around, so we'll see if that ends up happening. Oh, a bunch of Acantor shells going the way of the Dodo are the Dilettantes. Well, still, they end up fighting through. They're just absorbing the pressure long enough for the Penumbra to crack their shots off. Still going to be having a little bit of a field day trying to clear out the Uptecton. Oh, look at that splash damage, though. Nothing to lock these Penumbra out of the fight. Needs to get some more targeting fire going, as the Penumbras are kind of having a hard time focusing down individual Solarians. But there you go. Was 7, now just 2, and it will fall even lower. We got reinforcing Solarians coming out the wazoo here from Mr. Grass Eater. He's trying his best, but I think with the Silver Tongues and the Penumbra, that was a great combo there overall. Still down to only 2 Solarians. He's got 2 more. He's got Uptectons to help clear the ground, but we've got many more Penumbras, and that was only like 4 Penumbra. Yeah, you're going to get hit by so many more pretty soon. Vassals get chewed up. They're going to allow those air units to kind of speed backwards a little bit, but with the Penumbra coming, I really don't think that our Protoss will be able to hold. I'm assuming, again, this could have actually been 3-Crow the whole time, but I don't think so. I feel like this was grass, just from the typing, you know. Silver Tongues to penetrate all the Stewards in the world. They don't really, they absorb some of the pressure so that the Penumbras aren't too endangered, but look at how many there are. The Sky Toss just goes up in smoke almost immediately, and the Uptectons cannot crack the army alone. The armor of the Penumbra too high. Only dealing 7 damage a pop. Both Uptectons going down. Your air stack just rallies into death, almost immediately torn asunder. Paladin's coming as well, even better. Luciferius is happy. Well, the Uptecton count is rising, and I guess some of the Penumbra were actually softened up enough. The Acantor shells are actually going to do a lot of upfront damage, but it looks like that is still going to be a wrap. Meanwhile, Sentinels from Raynaril disrupting expansion efforts. There's Valkyries coming out from him. But Hit 'em Up has taken care of the air threat, it seems. There's still many more mech units, but they're actually going to move over to the other side as another round of Solarians descend. One Penumbra has been taken interest. Yeah, like, where are even the stewards at this point? Oh, I guess he's on attack move. He's actually going to splash his own paladins a little bit. But you can see that the paladins hold up as well. They take a little bit extra damage. Oh, very close to killing that Solarian. One shot from the Penumbra probably would have guaranteed at least one kill. That Cantor is gonzo. See ya. Meanwhile, P-Sense is hella scared right now, he says. He's got quite a defensive formation, but where's his tech? He's getting a Daedala now. Maybe he'll have enough time to make diadems and force our Hit 'em Up to go for Sky Terran to try to close the game out. Doesn't even need tier 3 air for that one, but there still might be an opportunity here. We've got 4-up Tectons. Maybe that's the switch that we needed to see out of our Protoss player. He's already moved his ministry in. This is my territory. Of course, Hit 'em Up has taken the cake here. What we could see, actually, if Hit 'em Up wants to try another unit into this composition here, he could definitely start pooling together a whole horde of, Pazuzus and run right up on top of the Uptectons, and every time they shoot, they would be damaging themselves. Yeah, the problem about that tropical island is, oh, look at that, he's already making Pazuzus. And you know what? You can't accuse him of stream sniping, because he started that procedure before I even said the word, so. At least I think so. You guys can check the VOD if you want, but as of right now, Raynaril is going to be wrapped up like a Christmas present. And here come the Penumbra. The Uptectons are trying to hold... It's a mech war at this point, you know? It's a giant Walker war. Walker versus Strider. Who wins? Well, Hit 'em Up wins, of course. Still a couple more units here. Raynaril is patrolling the skies with his Valkyries, but all he sees are ground units now. Maybe he can pick a single Solarian. He can try to spawn camp the Argosies. Yes! Yes, Raynaril! Spawn camp the Argosies! Oh, never mind. He's out of here. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'll kill the stewards instead. No, I think you target the Solarian here. You got to get right up close and personal. Target that bad boy. No, he's going to do it from a range. When you can close the distance with Valkyries, they're definitely better because they deal all of their bullets, deal 100% damage. Well, the front base has been cracked. A single Acantor is getting a lot of value by heckling this base, it looks like. All right, GG for real, he says. He has been routed. Ligma tier XD. True. I mean, when you don't use them right. Kabbalists are coming out here for when, but, oh my god, the diadems! The diadems got caught on shooting the Kabbalists. Meanwhile, I can't believe it. A GG was exchanged. There's a Hadron now being constructed by Hit 'em Up, and he's fighting the Kabbalists with his workers. I mean, he's got 268 workers. He can definitely afford to do that. Let's see what happens here as we get a little bit deeper in. There's a lot of Kabbalists coming out. I mean, I guess that will be an annoying disruption here, but there's a couple of units that are just kind of left over. They're just rallying to death right now. That's very funny, because they're rallying into detection radius from the Daedala. Well, it looks like this position is where all of the Kabbalists are coming from, so of course he's going to come on in with his endgame tech. The diadems revealing and shellacking these units. Goodbye, rogue galleries. Now, we still don't have the Argosies and the Ancestral Archives killed, so that does feel like a big move, but P-Sense is going to be going for nanite assemblies. He's made the Magnetars already. He could be an endgame threat to Hit 'em Up, who has so much money, by the way. The Cuirasses will never die. Tudor trying to talk about P-Sense's strategy, but P-Sense is still in the game. No! Paladins versus Kabbalists! That's their natural predator! Splash damage. Splash damage galore. So much splash damage. Still need some detection or something. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, the Cuirasses are now going to move over in this direction. They have so much tankiness, and then they reconstruct after. The diadem shots are going to be sublime, just clearing swaths of phalanxes every rotation. Meanwhile, a couple of Cuirasses are left over to be obnoxious and finish the job over here. This base slowly being cleaned up. Yeah, the top left is all that remains here for our Protoss player. He's going to continue sending Kabbalists in. But, like, Hit 'em Up has so much money right now. The only thing he really needs are Vespene. Maybe he needs to invest in some Wellbores. Here come the Magnetars. Oh, but they're going to get focused down. The Silver Tongues and the Paladins splashing them. Oh, no. He thought he was going to be slick. Instead, he's just dead. Well, we got 4 phalanxes left. They are going to get taken care of pretty soon. And the Cuirasses very slowly smashing. Oh, I get it. Because he's Blizzard Entertainment, yeah. I don't think Hit 'em Up knows that Diablo Immortal was already released. To thunderous applause, of course. Well, how many dilettantes does it take to kill an Uptecton? We're about to find out, I think. He's trying to get him right up close and personal, but that was the wrong move, actually. Oh, the Diadem's helping! Just get him down low! Not quite. Solarians arrive, but there's Paladins here. Let me mass up all of my stuff, and then try to kill these Paladins. That seems to be the strategy. He's trying to spread, to his credit. Now the Magnetars can pull the Paladins in, and the Battle Workers can bite. One of the Minotaurs does go down, unfortunately. Oh, hello. Oh my god, no, the Diadems! I thought this Cuirass would be almost nothing, but look at that. The Diadems actually proc, and he starts to self-repair. Oh my god. The shells, the shellackings. Lots of Silver Tongues being made. Most everything else is idle. He's got plenty of units in the middle of the map. He just needs to get them out there. The Kabbalists have shut down the natural. Oh, the Diadem shots. Hit 'em Up, took the middle, and he held it. There's so many Uptectons, but how do you get through all the Diadems? How do you get through the Paladin Phalanx? There's so many Cuirasses as well. I guess you can try to use the air units, but sooner or later that Solarian is going to fall, and there's only one left. Right now, Grass only has one Nexus coming, which is rebuilding his main, and he's got 4 Uptectons coming out at a pop, but that is not going to help him here. Not without some armor boosts. Crazy stuff. We get to see those endgame units after all, you know? And Grass calls GG. Well, with that being a wrap, it's just Hit 'em Up and peace ends. Can you believe it? If he's been counting the defeats and the leaves, he would know he is in a... He's locked in a room. He's locked in a room with Hit 'em Up. That is not going to end well for anybody involved. The Cuirass finally gets destroyed. Whoa, what the fuck? Don't mind me, just drinking from my Cosmonarchy branded mug. Well, there's a lot of Minotaurs, but the Diadems are going to hit Shellac. Okay, dodges one of them pretty well. He's got his own Diadem up, getting a little bit of value, softening up those Paladins. Definitely does allow the air stack to get some damage done, but not if you let them stack up like that. He's just trying to lure them in. Ooh, 2 of them go down. More where that came from, though. Oh, look at all those wounded airships just getting blown out of the water. That shot's not even going to kill a Paladin. Maybe if they stand in the field for long enough. But when they stand in the field, they shoot faster. So it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You got to hit them with that upfront damage. Oh, there you go. He ends up taking care of the first wave. But there's many more where that came from. Look at him. He's building the ministry. He's capping the gas immediately. Go in reservoirs instead of wellbores. You might not even know what that is. And he'll just distance my... You can return to defeated players' town centers as well, so he doesn't actually need the Ministry, but in case he builds defenses there or something and they automatically kill the Nexus, it does make sense. It's a fallback point. He's even got phalanxes. He unpacked them from his holding the natural. Or the third base, I guess. You can describe the middle of the map as the natural. Phobos is operational. Centaurs and Minotaurs try to duke it out versus them, but how are you going to get through that armor? 3 Yamatos, and the guy's still holding. Such is his power. Trying to pull him into the Watchdogs. It's not a bad shot. 2 Phoboses out of the 5 go down. Good idea, P-Sen says. And it looks like that will be a wrap on that front. T3 is scary. It sure is. Well, P-Sense is seeing if he has any other tactics here. He's got 20,000 minerals, but he is outdone by... Hit him up. The Lizard's Entertainment. Yeah, Lizard Entertainment does indeed strike. The nanite assemblies are being heckled to death. The Phoboses are here. I'll never forgive you for what you did to Starcraft 2. I agree, P-Sense. I agree. In our hearts, P-Sense is correct. He wins. Because you can't root for a guy whose ID is Blizzard Entertainment. And now, the final move. The Mason Wall. Defeat the Cuirass. Tear it down. Dismantle it. Disassemble it. Piece by piece. They couldn't do it. It was a little bit too hard. The diadem must survive. The diadem! It must survive! No! Oh, heartbreak. Oof. But this one is up. For not much longer. It might get one more shot off. No, it won't. See ya. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Hit 'em Up wins another free-for-all. Is anybody surprised? I certainly am not. But at least we got to see some really cool in-game units. Oh wait! He's got 1 ministry he's making! What a rat! I can't believe this. That's it. Hit 'em Up is victorious. Well, that was amusing. How did you guys like that one? Hmm? Oh, I see there was Blargton in the chat. Yeah, loads of Europeans play this. Also, what's up with One Reborn? How are you? Weekendwar! That's true. That's true. It's a pretty good first game of Weekendwar, that's for sure, yeah. All right, let's see. Let's see which we should play next. I think, again, we should go Faction Wars, and we can do Oil Australia, and it'll be great. Yeah, Faction Wars got a couple of updates here. It was pretty epic. We had... Let's see. The Futurist Federation now has a Maverick variant and a Blackjack replacement called the Tiengu. So that's pretty epic. That joins their Cleric replacement and their Wraith replacement. And they have one other unit that I'm forgetting. Hold on. Oh, their Cyclops variant, of course. So they are now the most factioned of them all. The Nidus Trinity got an Eidolon variant, which is pretty cool. The Golden Republic got a Blackjack variant. The Starbound got a Manifold variant, which I think I forgot to mark as... Oh, no, I did not forget to mark as implemented. The Order of the Sacred Saber got a Dracodon variant. The Orkoti Tendril now exists as playable and got a Hydralisk variant. And the Imicrenia got the Quasricor, a Quasilisk replacement, as you might imagine, and the Inzorthricor, a replacement for the Zor-Yustalath. So, what's going on, Kilo Delta? Been a while. Hope you've been doing well. Nidus? Yeah, Nidus Trinity got the Eidolon. Zerg Terran, Alexei Stukov. I don't know what's been being discussed here. What are the factions? It's a good question. I'm going to ask who is when. I'm pretty sure it's grass. And if they don't answer, it's grass. All right, so we were looking for one more. Broad champ. One, two, three, four, five, six. So we don't have Jimmy. We don't have Peasons. I'll just say a lobby up. Faction Wars FFA. Somebody said something about the wrong version. I think that is, if they have the wrong version issue, then they got to do double brain cells, and you make sure you're on release, because pre-release is different. When you see exclamation point mode, that means that you are in the wrong Crown Link mode. Oh shit! Black Iris stole the spot. Got him. Got him. I think there's a bunch of people going to host a secondary lobby. So, that'll be good, because then I can cast that replay later, you know what I mean? Looks like Jimmy, Peasons, Smarty, Eggs could do an FFA. Olin D. Yeah, Green Eggs. It always shows up no matter what. There you go. Black Iris getting their own in. All right, ready, check. See if our players want to play on Oil Australia. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 7. I guess Epsilon means ready. I don't know. All right, let's go. Oh, okay. There's also blue guy. That's cool. Okay, we have to introduce our homies. All right. So we have Neuchern, and the top left is our black Zerg player. And our, let's see. Oh, 2 Zorthos tendrils. Okay, that's interesting. Neuchern is Zorthos. We'll go to hit him up, and that's also Zorthos. Iris is Nidus. There's a couple Nidus players. All right, all right. So, okay. Let me introduce our players first, and then we'll talk about the factions. Because Faction Wars is pretty neat. So we got Neuchern going for a pool opener here. He is the Zorthos homie. Zorthos Zerg tendril. You can think of the Zorthos as kind of like area denial stuff. They have access to... They're the people you fight in Water War. So that's pretty epic. Meanwhile, we've got... is this two-door? It is Black Iris. So Black Iris is our... Is this beige? Beige Terran in the top right. And they are the Nidus Trinity. Very epic. Now down here we have the Upstart Terrans is two-door. He seems to be peach, silver pink Terran in the mid-right. Down here in the bottom right, we've got Raynaril, who is the Hekaton Coalition, I believe. No, wait. This is Futurist. He's Futurist Federation. Okay, yeah. All right, and he is our Dark Sapphire Terran. We've got Blade Hollow, RWL, as our maroon... No, it's blood, of course. It's always blood with Blade Hollow. He is the Calendric Knights. He will have the Calendric Ecclesiast option there. Very, very epic. And we've got Wen, who is also Nidus Trinity, going for cohort spam immediately. They are Cyan, I guess. Yeah, Cyan Terran. Now, smack in the middle... Poor hit him up. Smack in the middle is the Zorthos Tendril. He's going double Larvosk into Hydrith, his meta, TV or ZV anything build, really. And, he's in the middle of the map, so that would be a bit risky, but, you know how it is. All right, so we've got double Larvosk got a Neutron, but he went pool first, just in case. Makes sense. We've got Iris here going for cohorts. It looks like Blade is having an internet trouble, as usual. All right, Blade is out. See you later, Blade. Nice knowing you. I don't know if somebody dropped him or what, but owned. What is his name? His name is something silly. Just seeing what he's doing on Discord. All right. So, yeah, right now it looks like we just have some Zetracors. We got some cohorts. Nothing too crazy, just infested Terrans hanging out in the middle of the base. Happens many times. Many times. Interesting. All right, so Iris has a ton of money. Not enough for dropping the Covenant yet. I'm going to continue making cohorts. Meanwhile, I appreciate that the Iziralisk is an option here for hit him up. He could go for that if he wants to add Armor Rend to his army. Quasilisk is out for Neutron. What is he thinking of doing? He could go Nathralisk or he could go Iziralisk if he wants to benefit from his homies. Now, the Cyclops for the Futurists, they deal ally safe splash damage, but they also have less movement speed. They're a bit more durable, a bit less mobile, right? So that's more or less what's going on with them. I wonder if he's going to add Scrapyards, because I'd love to see the Tiengu in what would you say? Just an action. It's a cool unit, I think. Feels very, very neat to have in the game. 1 Hurakan and 1 billion infested Terrans. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know what happened to you, Blade. I hope that you exact vengeance on whoever else did that to you. Unless you just had an internet issue. I'm not sure. Cyclops are doing their best to stand up to the Cyprians from Mr. Tudor. He doesn't garrison his anchor, which is a bit unfortunate, but he will do so now. More Cyclops on the way. It's just pure Cyclops production. That's the monocomp here from Raynaril is the natural is taken. There's the Iziralisk for Neutron. I know. Can you believe? Would anybody look at that and think, yeah, that's super different to the Iziralisk? Very amusing. Hydra's just kind of roaming around right now as Hit 'em Up takes a third base. Starting to add the Covenants. Looks like we will see the infested Eidolons after all. Slightly off-center expansion here for Black Iris. 2 of them, in fact. Allergic to putting them directly on the spot that the game tells you to. For maximum optimal harvests. Double Circuit for hit 'em up. Okay, all right. Off Chan General. What? Who knows? If Black Iris is admitting to stream sniping, though, that would be pretty bad. Can't do that. No stream sniping allowed. Okay, so we do have some Nidus Trinity Eidolons on the way here for grass. Except it's not grass, it's somebody else. I don't know who it is. Tarasques are on the way. I guess it could be, but Grass typed in the chat in Discord, and so I assume that he's not doing that and also playing the game. Southpaw, dude. It deals splash damage. It's crowd control. Could also go Starpad for Wendigos. Good option there. Alright, the infested Eidolons have been deployed. The Nidus Trinity Eidolon. Not quite infested, but, you know, same energy. Iral Iris coming, tier 2, as another base gets deployed, and another base gets deployed. Hit 'em up is just going to expand everywhere, really. The main conflict that we've seen so far has been down here. Between Tudor and Ray. Single Phalanx arrives. Oh, it looks like Neutron will also be taking a tier 2 option. Oh no, Tudor. He does save that Cyprian. Nice moves there. Oh, it almost died anyway. You can lift the anchors to get them into a better position. Or he could get enough Mavericks to stim on top of the Phalanxes. Those are another option there. Looks like everybody's just kind of hanging out, doing their default thing. We are going to have a bunch of Tarasques come for Black Iris, it looks like. Join up with the Tarasques of Wen. Look at this. Isn't this like a cool little devlog shot right there? Come on now. Easy. Easy marketing, dude. Put that on the internet. Ah, counter Phalanx. Ooh. It was kind of bopped, though. Oof. Cliff advantage is a bitch. Neutron's Quas get immediately eaten. What's a Zerg to do in this situation? You've made yourself a target for hit 'em up. Cohort get doven on immediately. Oh no! Here comes the Tarrasque. It's trying to feast. Tudor has an interesting idea of bribery. Here come the Hydras. One Huracan will not be enough. Dives directly on top of that bridge and falls back. So, you know, hit 'em up has been had to concede one base. Neutron looks like he's gearing up to maybe make a move over there. Some attempt at using the friendly fire of the Phalanxes of Raynarel against the Cyclops. Maybe that's something that we should invest in, right? A futurist Phalanx that deals ally safe damage. Protathalors have been deployed, tier 2 actuated here for hit 'em up. Still has lost the base, but with any luck he won't lose too much tempo. Phalanxes are shellacking the stockade. Unfortunate here for Tudor. It seems like he will be our first to fail. That being said, Black Iris is coming on down with a pretty good number of cohorts and Tarrasques. Even has an Anseal for detection. Looking pretty good over here. Oh, a lot of dead cohorts, but that's alright. They'll be fine. Right? Right, guys? They're meant to die over and over again. A bunch of workers rallied into death here. Looks like there was a scuffle we missed the inciting incident in. And those Phalanxes are going to be brought down. Already, we've got Tudor floating away with his ministry. That's pretty much all he has. And a single Talos. Ooh. Well, he's actually going to waypoint a big amount of his Zerg army up towards Neuchern, who's amassing a large number of Mutalisks. Of course, I've seen higher numbers than that, but looks like the Star Pad will leave house as well as Black Iris finishes the job that Raynoril began. And doesn't want to mess with this army right now. Instead, tries to pick a fight with a Zerg player. I don't know if this is the right move for Hit 'em Up. Some of his own mutas getting routed as Sikralisks have been deployed by Neuchern. Has all the composition that he needs to kind of counter stab. Even has some Spraiths in that high ground base there. We got Vilgorikors coming. Big amount of tankiness here as Hit 'em Up spends down his bank. That's going to be a rep for Tudor's presence on the low ground, but at least he has one Wraith to annoy Raynoril with. What's a man to do? You can put your Ant-Seal in the way. That's really funny to me. Yeah, just defend your Masons with the Ant-Seal. It's great. Oh, except it wasn't in range. Iris gonna go ahead and saturate. Big fight over here between Neuchern and Hit 'em Up. The mutas for Neuchern helping out a bit. Tathalor is able to range him down, but not a great showing out of the Vilgorikors there. Kind of lacking in sustained damage. Plus, we've got tier 2 static defense in that position. The Protathalors are going to get taken care of. Meanwhile, we've got mutas descending, getting ready to descend upon Hit 'em Up's, what is that, his 4th base or 5th base. These counter mutas are kind of waiting around, see what's happening. I don't know, the mutas end up coming back to clean the rest of the ground up. I wonder which player that is. Oh, looks like it's Hit 'em Up. Right now, the mutas are definitely not doing the job just yet. We have a couple of Sikralisks with this army that might be able to finish off the muta stack that Hit 'em Up has, but I'm not entirely convinced. There's a lot more Sikralisks that could change my mind, but I don't see that much to defend versus the Hydra Stomp. We need those Sikralisks onto those mutas. Right now, not really working out too well. But here come the Phalanxes. Yeah, Hit 'em Up might actually be routed here. There's lots more. Okay, there's a couple of... yeah, I said Phalanxes earlier, of course. Haha, I meant Tarrasques, considering. Look, they're waypointing directly into the mineral line, softening up those Hydras. There's still enough here that they can clean house, I think. Well, some of these are a bit healthier than maybe Hit 'em Up would want them to be. He's doing a really nice push into Neuchern's gas base. Neuchern basically on 2 bases, but at least has the Vespene. Tier 2 now coming for Iris. Many more Tarrasques on the way here. Finally, this Tarrasque will be brought down, but there's so many more that are going to march across the map, right across that bridge. Really start screwing with Hit 'em Up here. He doesn't really seem to have the resources to deal with this. Kind of been, all of his Hydras are off to the other side. Neuchern trying to unload a single Kagrit somewhere. He's going to try to waypoint a couple more units down, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Iziralisks are a nice idea in theory, but... okay, the mutas will definitely help. The Tarrasques don't shoot up, so... I guess eventually he'll clean that, but he lost a lot to do so. Can Neuchern halt the assault of the Hydras? That's the question that I have. Iris still doing some things. Oh no! The Ministry! Okay, he cancels it, thank goodness. Raynoril slowly taking care of business here, it looks like. Tudor now rebuilding on the island, but Iris has a single Ant-Seal in that direction, so he's already got Trojans loaded up with Tarrasques, ready to go. Shambler Man has arrived in the YouTube chat. Welcome. I need something that shoots up. I don't have it yet. Neuchern is barely hanging on here. I think the mutas are going to kind of send him home. Oh, the Sikralisks have been mistargeted, I think. There you go. Oh, here come the mutas. Hey, what's going on, buddy? You want to send Tarrasques at me? I'll send mutas at you. 35 of them, to be frank. Madrigals are only now coming. There's one that's stuck over here, very amusingly. Hit him up using them as an eraser. Meanwhile, Neutron barely stabs back. Meanwhile, yes, we see the fruits of his labor. He actually went for a silo there. He's having a bit of a hard time catching that ministry. Here comes another push, or an attempted push, across the Bridge of Death. And it is a Bridge of Death right now. The Avigralisk, the Protathalors, there's Sikralisks in the back as well. Looking really rough right now. Here come the Trojans to scoop up those units for Iris. Definitely can give chase. Oh, look at that! Tudor's actually trying to come back and be sneaky. I don't know about that move, actually. I feel like that's pretty dangerous. Here come Mutas to continue to disrupt the Cyan Terran's mining. Daedala on the way, so Tier 3 will be coming up. Despite all of the economic damage that Hit 'em Up dealt, there's still plenty of money in the bank for this player as well, so that's pretty good. He just leaves that one there, even though it could theoretically repair itself with a ministry, you know, making a mason, that kind of thing. Talos over there set up shop. The Madrigals are here, but they're not in their splash damage mode. They're in their multi-target mode. They needed to be in the other mode, like this guy. That does not end up going well. That's a wrap for one of those ministries. Raynarel now deploying. Iris and Raynarel duking it out. The Tarrasque count is pretty high, but the Cyclops are dealing good splash damage. It's just that they're being absorbed by the Antseals. The Phalanxes need to be getting a bit better targeting. They're kind of off to the side instead of center of mass, and that will be a rout of Raynarel's army. Muta's continuing to wreak havoc on the other side of things. Big Zerg force going to go ahead and descend upon this Tarrasque stack that wrapped around the whole map. He's even got some Madrigals here, so if the Mutas come back to try to defend this, we could be in for a world of pain for Hit 'em Up. That's if the micro on the Madrigals is good enough. Of course, they could end up being primary targets here, but right now, more Protathalors are raining on in. That feels like it'll be enough to stop the Tarrasques from having their, field day with this position. Neutron going to come on down with some Sikralisks. Meanwhile, might actually catch the Mutas in their transition point. Oh, yeah, he has to turn back around from that. He can't deal with that. You kidding me? Iris continuing shenanigans versus the Cyan Terran. Is that it? I don't even know where... Oh, okay, here he is. I was going to say, where is Tudor? Zerg trying to reclaim this position. That was once again denied him by the Nidus Terran. Oh, the Daedalo is interrupted. A lot of Mutacorpses, though. Looks like the Madrigals cleaned house over there. That's nice. Many hatches being deployed here. Hit 'em Up needs to spend down his bank. He also needs to probably get some more bases. You can see he was starting to do that over there. More heckling happening over here. As the Trojan almost dies. One Watchdog not going to quite be enough. Going to see if he can go after the treasury. In this case, you kind of want to focus down the workers, but Tudor's is floating around in the middle of nowhere. Neutron very slowly bringing things back. The one Madrigal attempting to defend desperately. Maybe if he takes off like a helicopter, he can land somewhere else, but at least the Daedala did get finished. There is that. I don't think that he can hold here, unfortunately. He's got a lot of money, though, so he could be making units out of the Fulcrum. He's just not right now. He's kind of like trying to set up shop over here. He's got Sentinels coming. Maybe he can stop Black Iris from killing him. Meanwhile, Iris still has some units over here. One Mason is deployed, and it's actually going to find that stockade if it keeps going that way. Another attempt from Raynarel as he's got Ramses out. That might be able to do the trick in enough number, but right now it looks like it's just not, not quite enough to finish the job there. Our hero Madrigal, dies. Had 17 kills. Nice knowing you, buddy. An evacuation attempt is being made here with the Daedala lifted. It needs to land so he can actually use Tier 3. I'm not sure about his Atlas. Okay, that's also floating off. So Wen might still be able to be in the game later on. Neutron, on the other hand, is now saturating a very large base over here. Raynarel doing his best to spend down his considerable bank. He's getting Wellbores. He's got his own Tier 3. Might be, yeah, he's going to go ahead and secure the island. This is usually a pivotal point there. You can see Wen was thinking about the same thing. He's just a little bit late to the party. And somehow Iris is still alive after sealing the deal for defeating Tudor. Tudor's ministry has been found. Hey, wait a second. Get that guy. This is peak upstart gameplay, actually. You're just trying to, like... There's gods, like, warring elsewhere, and you're just trying to, like, see if you can find a obscure base somewhere to harvest a little bit of grain to feed your family with. Iris, stop watching the stream when you're playing. That's cheating. Yeah, bad juju. Alright. But as long as you're watching the stream, Tudor is floating into the bottom right and in the 12th. What do you mean? I'm audio only. Tudor's... Yeah, everybody's stream sniping. Why not? The Kafralosk finishes just in time to get killed. That's impressive. Well, Hit 'em Up looks like he's going to see if he can run Neuchurn over entirely. We've got... Well, a good number of mantles here from Ranaril. He could definitely spend his money down a little bit more heavily. Ah, Tudor's trying to sneak around the back. Maybe he can try to land on that island that Ranaril already has. Yeah, this ministry got kind of shooed away, it looks like, or maybe just didn't do much there. Hit 'em Up now, sending his big swath of Zerg army down there. The Zethar is chewing up everything. Mutat Spire gone, very important thing. That's what was allowing him Sikralisks and Mutas and Protathalors. Gonna be no more. Emergency Rillarokors have been deployed. How do they do versus the Zethar? Hey, honestly, they're not bad. Nice! What the fuck? Imagine being like, I have these physical conditions that hurt me. Nice! Alright. If you say so, buddy. Well, meanwhile, Iris and Tudor are actually in a bit of a face-off here. This one Cyprian has been made on the 12 o'clock island. Impressive. Well, Hit 'em Up has seemingly been forced back on that front, but he did a lot of critical damage, so he's going to just send the Zeth stack up there. He's trying to manage many players at once, right? You got Wen over here getting kind of shellacked on the mainland, providing Hit 'em Up with plenty of territory to expand into later. Ah, he'll finally arrive at that island. Very important for Tudor. The Rillarokor is trying their best to hold on, but now the Protathalors are getting engaged upon by the Zethar, and it doesn't really matter how ensnared they are. Oh, well, there's still a couple over here that, yeah, I think... Oh, actually, never mind. I was going to say Hit 'em Up's going to have a little bit of a hard time getting to them. He just needs to actually waypoint towards them, right? He's just being lazily, like, A-moving in that direction. A single cohort heckling his Excisant. Dude, kill him. Murder him. Nah, Hit 'em Up's busy. He's like, I'll kill everything else first. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got nanite assemblies up and running. He's poor, but he's got tech. He's going to send a Talus across, and there's a single Cyprian from Tudor that's going to shoot him in the face, dude! No way! What's going on, Elizabeth Arts? Welcome. I honestly cannot believe how consequential the Cyprian is. If you're wondering why that's happening, by the way, the Treasury absorbs the bullet. But the Talus is going to rotate over, and see ya. That is honestly really impressive. All right, we haven't really been paying attention to Iris and Ray this whole time. There's been more exciting happenings elsewhere on the map, but this looks like a composition that's actually going to carve through the hordes of the spliced masses. The cohort's not quite able to deal with Cataphracts and Ramses. Well, I say that, but I feel like overall, this is looking like it will eventually be overwhelmed. I thought for a second that actually the cohorts would be destroyed by all those Ramses, but it looks like they ended up falling a little bit too quickly. We've got a big stack of endgame army there that's definitely going to help out. And meanwhile, the Protathalor is finally going to see if they can clean Neuchurn's clock there. Muta's heckling Ranaril down here in the island. Very unfortunate. He had plenty of time to make watchdogs there, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Spending down his bank, getting a lot of iron foundries and stuff. I had my fun. Oh no, he's done. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna send everything across, everything I own. See ya. Dude, I don't know how... Neuchurn has held on surprisingly heavily. He's remaking his Spire and his Nest. And his Hydrith Den. He was about to make a bunch of... Okay, he's making more Protathalors. He's about to make a bunch of Sikralisks, but... Oh, unfortunately, these Protathlors are actually going to range down some of those eggs, so that's a little bit sad. Sad boy moment. Vilgoricor's on the way. What else does hit him up one? He's got so much money. Set a couple of Mutalisks in that direction. Just scouting out, just seeing what's going on. I might actually ask hit him up to stream here because... The Paladins! The Paladins, no! Oh, the splash damage. What a ruckus. How unfortunate. Well, I'll see you later, dude. Iris has one more ministry. Oh, there's another one over there. The mantle over there. That's right, Toyota. Isn't that familiar? Don't you remember doing this? Didn't you do this one time? Iris has a couple of units over here as well. Very amusing. If I'm one of Rhaenyra's paladins, I am most confused. I can't believe Two-Door Stockade is finally going to get found. After all the antics it's pulled. Oh! Vandal! He defeated. Oh, I don't even think I ever guessed hit 'em up's color. I think it's like vivid orange. Hey, there you go. Well, if you makes sense, makes sense. If you were waiting that long for me to guess the color, I apologize. I was busy talking about factions, dude. Oh my god. Well, we know what's going to happen there. Simpler times, he says. Oh, DF offering to do some UI work. Very nice, very nice. I want to see what hits POV looks like. So, Hit 'em Up is currently attacking, devastating, annihilating Rhaenyra. And he seems to have taken over everything else, except for that one spot. Yeah, this Two-Door Stockade is still there. That's very funny. Maybe he'll see it later. Ah, he's got himself some Alcagelisks. Paladins are just going to self-splash pretty much. Yeah, it looks like Rhaenyra's about to be sent by the wayside. I'm alive on my screen, he says, and then he gets immediately assailed by a cajillion. Oh, never mind. He actually has a lot of paladins. Gotta watch out for that splash damage. Looks like a Pazuzu hit him as well. Pazuzu's also splash, so. There come the Elgaz Bone him down, boys. Bone him down. Zap, zap, zap. Yeah, that was okay spacing. Hit him up, obviously. Not used to using these units, right? So. See ya, Tudor. Yeah, so it looks like Raynarel and Hit 'em Up are actually... Maybe everybody is in the same game except for me? I might have been the one. That's why I was asking if people had their number. Because if they said that it was like, oh, it was 0 or whatever number I am. That would have told me things. Alright, the truth has been revealed. Yeah, those can't attack air, dude. Look at Hit 'em Up, he's a noob, he doesn't even know. Well, at least he can kill the structures. Chase him! Get him! Punch him! he's got the Guitar cores in there in such a quantity that he can just kind of ignore the anti-air defenses. Oh shit, it's Phobos! Well, if you get enough Elgaz, you can still win that. Rillisks don't suck versus Phobos either, I think. They add a little bit of damage because the Phobos is single target. Oh, Tozgrilisks. Good, good. Also, Hit 'em Up is kind of funny because he was like, oh, this game probably desynced. And like we see that it did for my screen. But I think he's just not used to playing against new players, right? So he's like, huh, this guy isn't making stuff. It's like, yeah, sorry, bro, that might not be what you think it is. The Phobos has so much armor. Get him. The Elgaz are really good in this situation. If you engage in max range, they're going to get a lot of armor pen on their attack. Oh, shit. Looks like Iris was in the top right. So I guess in the real game, Raynarel must have defeated Iris in those fights. That's why Iris lifted everything off. I'm guessing. I don't really know. Oh boy, Hippogriffs. Better versus ground targets than air, that's for sure. Here comes the Takara course. Yeah, he has to call GG. There's too many Elgaz. That's a wrap for him. And Hit 'em Up is victorious. Very cool. Well, we got to see a resolution to that game after all. And I appreciate that. Maybe it was me and Neutron who were not quite there. Because Neutron kept asking, he's like, what's happening? Very amusing. Oh, I see, Iris, I see. What was happening for you, Tudor? Because I feel like the... you were floating around with your ministry and your stockade, and that didn't seem like decent. You were just dead. So that's why I was like, no, you were dead, dude. Alright, we can try Midas. Oh wait, it's not Faction Wars. It should be... do we dare Omnipresence, FFA? I think we do. Let's do it. Yeah, Tudor didn't win. He was just in the lobby for a while. Oh, Hit 'em Up wants to play in Massacre. Okay, next game will be Massacre. So in Omnipresence, so Cosmonarchy is a load of game modes. The competitive game mode is good enough, to be honest, because there's already so many options. But if you want more wacky games, more crazy games, then, well, we've got all these game modes, right? And so in that last game, we did Faction Wars. It gives you even more customization because you pick a faction and they have like different unit variants. It didn't look like Hit 'em Up really used any of them, but he's just a good player, so he doesn't need to. When it comes to Omnipresence, you play as all three races at the same time. You have an Omniveil, which is a unique structure that deploys the workers of all of the races, and from there you can pick all of the options. So yeah, pretty epic. Shambler is desperately trying to make it in. He's desperately trying. He's really desperately trying. All right, Shambler has arrived. Looks like there are other replays going on, which is cool. Okay, 5 out of 7 readies. 6 out of 7. We need Blade Hollows ready. All right, let's go. Let's go. FFA number 3. We'll do some team games at some point too, I think. See how it goes. All right. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. We got ourselves some omnipresence. Reminder, do not stream snipe noobs. All right. Now that I got that reminder out of the way. Oh, wait. I am me. I forgot to do that. I am the ultimate stream sniper. Okay. We have, in the top left, Rainerel, the Dark Sapphire player. Terran main at heart. We'll see if he sticks to Terran. Shambler is our yellow player in the mid-center. 12 o'clock, interior. He is... I guess he's currently a Terran player at heart, but he's played all 3 races. Fairly experienced guy. Probably the most experienced in the lobby. I don't know who that Wen guy is. Maybe he's technically more experienced. But I don't think so. Neutron in the top right, the black player. He is going to be... He's a Zerg player. I will see if he ends up using anything else. Blade Hollow. I guess a Protoss player and a Zerg player kind of interchangeably, but pretty new to the game. He's our blood player in the 3 o'clock position. In the bottom right, we have Tudor. I believe Tudor is, once again, whatever color he was in the first game. And I think I called that, like, I guessed it wrong the first time, I believe. Because I think I said it was chestnut, but it's like burnt umber. Yeah, he likes burnt umber. Okay, now we know. All right, I had to remember that. He is, I don't know what Tudor does. I think he might be a Protoss player. I can't recall what I selected. Oh, Tudor's listening to the fucking stream. Don't listen to the stream, dummy. All right. We've got Wen in the 6 o'clock position interior. He is our green player. And all the way over here, we have Toyota Miguel, who seems to be not Palatinate Blue. Is this Zafir? Oh, Ultramarine. Very nice. He's the only color I guessed wrong in the whole lobby. Can't believe it. Oh, it's going to be Larvosk. Okay, all right. Very interesting. Very interesting. Big Boss Shambler? Yeah, pretty much. Don't worry, I will eventually kill my Omniveil here, and then it'll stop blinking and pinging the minimap. It's just got a lot of armor, you see. Oh yeah, I don't have any minerals. Also, I forgot to re-enable the audio there. Sorry about that. Now we fixed that. You were just hearing my sultry voice the whole time, you know? That's fine. So we got double stockade. We've got a Covenant. Let's see what the comps are looking like. It's Shambler with the Maverick spam, and he's also adding Zerg static defense. And he's going to send out a couple of Mavericks to scout. We've got Wen taking a Treasury expansion. Interesting. He's already gas capped with a Protoss. Okay, he's Protoss gas capped, which is kind of interesting. That's like kind of an advanced strategy because Protoss can build the structure without spending a worker like Zerg and without marrying the worker to the production structure like Terran. So therefore, Protoss is actually the most efficient race to do that with. It's kind of an interesting sort of trade-off there. And that does make me feel like maybe he's a more advanced player as a result. I don't know, just saying. Watchdog coming, a couple of them, in fact, for Neuchern. He's got a gateway making Hierophants. He's going to add that to his Avaleth and maybe get some more gateways, it looks like. So interesting stuff. We've got a Goliath with Quasilisks. That's a choice in a half. And a Ministry on location here. So when you're building with the various races, Ministries are the most durable of the structures because you can repair them and they have the highest health pool. Like, I think the Nexus is the same health pool, but it obviously has shields which regenerate, but the HP does not. And you can repair the Ministry with Masons that you can make more of to repair more of, etc. So the game theory there is that like Ministry is for strongholds, Hatcherosks are for fast expansions, and Nexuses are kind of like if you just need an expansion and you happen to have Scribes there, it's like better to do that than wait. They're probably like the least significant option. I guess with the power field, it does change the consensus a little bit there, but you can just build a pylon, then it's just not as durable of a power field if you needed Protoss Static D or whatever. But that's like one of the options that you have. So interestingly enough, it does look to me like Shambler, who's adding some Rilla Rokors, interestingly enough, is going to be protecting his right flank with some bio rallies and sending a big ball of Mavericks to see if he can, you know, bully Raynarel in the top left. These two did have a disagreement in Discord, so I wonder if there's some vendetta that is being held on to. But it could just be that he's like, well, he's the nearest player to me that I think I can actually defeat, because he did scout the position of Neuchern. Although this looks pretty vulnerable too, so I'm not really 100% sure. But he's just going to ball up with 31 Mavs. See if he can run him over. The Quasilisk count is okay, but there's only the one Goliath. So this feels like that Shambler stands a really good chance of potentially beating Raynarel here, especially when Raynarel's trying to commit into the Stimmed Maverick ball. He has the one Phalanx on the high ground, but he doesn't have any sort of like pushback here. No potential to really hold him at an arm's length. And that's a wrap for the Phalanx. This looks like it'll be a very quick rush job with Raynarel being the first player to fall. I don't really see how he can withstand all of these Mavericks. He got kind of greedy with the extra Larvosks. Conversely, Shambler got kind of military-minded with 4 fast stockades. So definitely a little bit of a sort of disparity there anyway. He's got one Circuit at the natural. Maybe he can try to hold on for it, but his Fulcrum is dead, and that had a Phalanx in production, so that's going to be pretty impactful here. I guess he could try to Worker Drill and maybe get a little bit of damage dealt to the Mavs. But right now he's just kind of desperately trying to hold back. Do the Quasilisk need to borrow? What are you trying to borrow? Nobody will know. Omniveil slowly falling. Toyota making his Weekendwar appearance. Dropped a Phalanx. He's got a nice little Protoss Terran army, even some Cyclops as well. Mostly Protoss dominant. Wen's going to go ahead and deploy a bunch of Zealots to try to stave off this attack. He's doing okay, but he is going to have to fall back, and the Hierophants are going to allow him to freeze up. Now, the Eidolons here looking very nice. Should be more than enough to kind of bully him back, but with the Ecclesiast charging forward to see if he can decloak, the Phalanx needed to target down those Eidolons, and that was not going to happen, so that will be a wrap there. Atlas already on the way here for the Shambler. He's got his natural taken, adding a Hatcherosk. He will finish off the Omnivale, which it's making a Scry, but I think it'll be a little bit too late. Oh, he picked one up. Okay, so he did protect it. The Khaz'trith with the circuits is going to definitely help versus the bio, but he doesn't really have anything that he can staff inside the anchors, right? So he's got to pull his Masons back. You know, that's the problem with static defense, right? You can just run past it. Maybe needed to, like, build some stuff down here in the bottom. So his one Scribe is still alive. He's got lots of money in the bank, but doesn't really have the ability to spend it right now. Gorgacores have descended upon Wen's base, his third, it looks like, as his natural is being resaturated. A fourth base is being constructed by him as well down here. He's doing Treasury Quarry, and interesting. It's the most brittle way to get anything done, it feels like. Poor Sieve. Arbuz sheds a single tier. Eidolons are going to go ahead and duke it out versus the Gorgs. A lot of them are going to end up falling for it. Oh, that's unfortunate. That last swipe killed 3 more, I think. Meanwhile, Tudor rocking out with Cyclops and Cyprians. That's his sort of big army, so to speak. All right, he's going to try to see if he can creep forward with the Kagrant. If Shambler's caught slipping on the attention, might end up happening. Zork is on the way here for our Shambler. And Toyota, he's definitely taking over the middle of the map, that's for sure. All right. He's reduced to not much, but Raineril's been here before. At this point, I'd put the Scribe inside the... I'd put the Scribe inside the... what do you call it? The anchor, just for safekeeping. Toyota has also been here before in the middle of the map and has taken over it. He looks like he'll be going for those tier 3, you know, Sky Terran stuff later. Dropping 2 Lakizilisks, an interesting strategy from Tudor. It'll wipe out the Droleths. And as long as he keeps the Trojan here for vision, should be able to kill the quarry as well. Yeah, they lose vision when they're burrowed, right? They only have half vision, so a little bit unfortunate there. Shambler going to go ahead and lift off a Ministry to the 12 o'clock position as a group of Cyclops come in to see if they can break apart some of the army that Wen has. Remember, his Eidolon count was softened up quite a bit earlier, but Zealots are very, very good versus Cyclops. So this is actually going to rout the army of Tudor a little bit. He's got a lot of money in the bank, by the way, 5,000 minerals. Could definitely spend it. A humongous assortment of different units here. Blade, I haven't really talked about him. He hasn't really been involved in any fighting. So he's just building up quietly. Kind of like what Toyota is doing right now. Like, yeah, he kind of heckled this position a little bit, but he's still sitting pretty. Bottom left has been taken by Wen. Somebody must have cleared out my workers. I don't know who it was. But thank you, sir. Or ma'am. Iris on the way for Tudor. Zorius. Palladium Fulcrums. Lattice making golems. Yeah, he's spending down some of his money. Yeah, sure, it's a lot of Qs. An Ovoleth that may or may not have had things in it. Unfortunate for Neutron as he hightails it out of here with his Gosvaleths and starts to prepare for the oncoming Shambler. There's a lot of Dracodons here, dude. That is a lot of Dracodons. He's really gone into the Protoss. I thought Neutron was a Zerg player. Meanwhile, the Maverick Containment, as silly as that is to say, is not quite living up to its specifications. The Quas are going to go ahead and hunt down these Mavs. Remember that Raineril had a lot of money in the bank, so still a good opportunity there. Toyota taking some positions over there. We got Iris and Atlas, so, you know, he's achieving tier 2 with all 3 races. That's something that Blade Hollow wants to do. I almost call him Blood Hollow because his color is blood, you know what I mean? What would even be Hollow Blood? I don't know. So there's Mutas and there's Dracodons. These don't trade super efficiently into the Mavericks. And as a Zerg player, when you make Mutas, you really want to fear the Cyprians. So that was a little bit expensive. But that's okay. The Cyprians are not going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with all these Dracodons. That will be a wrap for Shambler's army. And honestly, that's kind of a scary number of units there, right? Like, Shambler doesn't really have a lot of forces over in that direction. He's actively waypointing military away from that. Tudor now being pushed back by Wen. Zealots charging in. They clear out one of those unburrowed Lakes. There is a witness here to provide detection. And the Eidolon count will be able to range them down. The Zealots will probably end up getting minced here. So there is that, a little bit of a sliver of hope for Tudor as most of his army ends up falling. He's going to deploy some phalanxes, but they're entirely naked. Nothing protecting them whatsoever. This looks to me like Wen is about to punch Tudor's ticket to Damnation Isle. Here come the Wyverns. Only Quas to defeat Wyverns. I've been here before, Raineril, and it does not work out. You gotta build more units than just quads into wyverns. By golly. Well, it was nice knowing you, Rainarel. He's even setting up a Nexus. He's adding some watchdogs back here. He won't give up hope. You know, he's not like that. He made these anchors. I suppose he can evacuate his workers and lift them up. One single Eidolon heckling that position. The Iral Iris, made in Neblim's favorite position, is eviscerated. We've got Phalanxes getting shot at by Eidolons. The Witness is a little bit far away, but it looks like it still narrowly provides vision. Not quite sure. Could have just been revealed for other reasons. And a single Zealot made it in here and got overwhelmed by Rilla Rokors. Very amusing. There's so many Eidolons, though, I think that two-door is just about wrapped. Hey, look. How'd you get over there? Silly goose. We can't even get you out now. We gotta need an envoy, silly. He can slowly waddle back over there, but I don't think he's gonna. Well, it was nice knowing two-door. And in the same vein, it was kind of nice knowing Ray. He still has a scribe, and he sells larvae to make drolaths, and he sells a ministry to make masons. So technically, he still has all the races. But it looks to me like there's still a little bit too much here for him to deal with wyverns involved. That being said, the Protoss is still potentially a threat. I say Protoss. The Neuchern is still potentially a threat to Shambler. But if Neuchern clashes with Blade Hollow, we could just end up seeing a total evisceration of them, and then Shambler's just like, oh, okay, I comfortably take the rest. By the way, though, I mean, Toyota has been playing full PvE mode. Two-door will concede and call GG. That will be a wrap for him. Fulcrum's on the way here for Toyota. He's got plenty of more. Yeah, he's just going to make a bunch of Goliaths, sure. Got some Gorgs on standby. Lake is to hold the ramp. Slowly saturating this extra base over there. He's up to 5 bases, but one of his bases is the middle, which is good enough for like 5 bases by itself, so once it's fully saturated. Definitely looking like the favorite to take the match, unless that changes. Blood, or Blade, now charging forward to attack Neuchern. The single Dracodon just heckling. Wyvern's taking out the gateway. We still have plenty of watchdogs here, though, so it doesn't really feel like the Wyverns alone are going to be enough to deal with this, but I guess Shambler's just going to mass up many more. Tier 3 on the way for Neuchern, Tier 3 Zerg. And here comes the air stack to finish Rainaril off. He was going to try to repair the unit, I think, there, but it didn't quite work out. He's got to load the scribe into the Ovaleth. Get out of dodge! Yeah, he's got the scribe. Needs the mason now. If he lifts off the ministry, it won't be shot at by the wyverns. Now, too late. He made his Hydrith Den. Oh, look at this, though. Shambler's force just got stepped on by Toyota. He's going to have to fall back and see if he can maybe secure some damage dealt onto the natural there. Toyota might just charge forward and kill the starports, though. That would be a big loss. Big amount of Tier 2 production as Shambler scrambles a response. His hit squad leaving Rainaril's base, allowing him to rebuild a little bit longer, and now assaulting Toyota, who is going to fall back. I thought maybe that would be a fateful decision for Toyota, is that he might just end up falling back. His Goliaths are on rally. They are going to come on back in and see what they can do. Ranging down the Gorgons and the Wyverns. The Hatrosk is defeated, so that will end up needing to be rebuilt. Good amount of worker damage dealt as well. What's been going on here for Green? He's eliminated two-door. He's now still mostly committed to like Protoss, MISC, miscellaneous Protoss stuff, and a whole bunch of Eidolons. Probably hit him up's most nightmarish composition. Okay, well, Rainaril can still return resources to his Hatrosk, and he doesn't have that many minerals, so it's going to be a little bit before he can do much of anything. And look at this, Toyota routing Shambler, charging forward, and he's going to munch on those Wyverns. There's a host of 24 Gorgons, but there's so many Goliaths here, as well as the Dracodons, the Hierophants, the Gladius, even some Meat Shield, Gorgs, and Anseals. Is this going to be enough? The Phalanxes deploying is going to be an absolute splattering of the bio. Definitely something that Shambler needs to fall back on. He's got a round of Drolets that are just going to end up getting eaten up, but they might soak up the Phalanx shots a little bit. Oh, he's going to try it again, but I really don't think that that's a good idea. Still 22 Gorgons to the good. I hear the chimes of the Apostle underneath all of the Gorgons, but I think it's just going to get splattered by the Phalanxes anyway. He's trying to keep his Gorgons alive, but it is not going to be enough. Between the Goliaths, Dracodons, and everything else. Oh, he's got more coming on in, so he might be able to overwhelm this position. Wen now going to go ahead and descend upon Toyota's southern base. This is definitely going to eliminate his natural as Blade continues to dive forward. But look at all of the Mutalisks from Neutrun. There are some Sikralisks mixed in. That's the most of the anti-air, and that is going to help deal with some of those. I thought maybe I saw a Charlatan as well, but doesn't look like it. Wow, looks like Blade has pretty much everything you could ask for. He's really leveraging everything besides maybe some Terran. I think his mech army has mostly been wounded. Wen now going to go ahead and try to descend into this Tensender building maniac. But look at all of the Goliaths. They're getting munched on by the Eidolons. And it looks like Toyota's central force was routed by Shambler. Somehow, a couple of air units still exist, and Raynarel is going to try his best to rebuild. A final stand at the Omnivale as Toyota, he had everything going for him. He was making nanite assemblies and everything, but it looks like he will lose access to the other races and be back a Terran player, as his Zerg expansion has been defeated. He never rebuilt the one that Shambler killed earlier, so losing another one is pretty much a wrap. He only has Terran forces in here, but that's where he built his tech. That's where he's building his nanites. He doesn't have any defenses over there right now, but if you fast forward this game 5 minutes and he hasn't been managed, that's going to be a big splattering. Now, Blade, speaking of, has taken care of Neutrun's expansion. Is he going to come down here and finish the job on that undefended one? Shambler coming on in and seeing the sort of mixed mixed Protoss Terran army is going to fall back and maybe finish the job for Raynarel, who's only now getting his ministry back up and running after all that spending. He has hardly any anti-air, so this will be an unceremonious defeat. Nobody is nearby to heckle him, and Neutrun will end up losing his 4th base after losing his 3rd. Shambler has expanded to 12 o'clock. It's not fully saturated or even capped, but looks like that will finally be a run-over as Raynarel is the 2nd player to fall. Sure, Toyota lost his main base, but he didn't lose his tech. Now he's just a Terran player for good. He's got a couple of Gladiuses, I guess. It's a wrap for Raynarel. I heard a recall. Looks like maybe we're going to get some more action here as Blade is getting attacked by none other than Wen. He's going to try to defend. He has a lot of units still over here. He's losing some infrastructure. Not too many workers. He didn't even lose his south expansion, which is actually pretty big. And it looks like he will be able to hold back the Pariah Tide. Oh yeah, definitely, as his rest of his army is slowly waypointing back in. Pariah's Eidolons, they're a scary comp, but it's not going to be enough. Nanite assemblies are starting to make Magnetars. He wants some answer to the air stack that Shambler has been amassing. It looks like the Sikralisk dominant player here, Neutrun, is definitely going to be tested. He's got Xitralisks as well, but they don't deal splash damage, right? So Sikralisks are going to be a better choice here. Only a couple of watchdogs to his name to try to defend this. His gateways will be the first target. First port of call for Neutrun to try to respond. What's he going to do as he sees that being deployed, being heckled on multiple fronts, hasn't yet responded? Really taking a little bit too long, it feels like, to maybe respond to this, as his Axtoth Axis is bunk. Immediately devastated. Again, only a couple of watchdogs. Xitralisks now chucking some acid at the air units there, but they descend upon the Omnivale. Right now, just going after the workers. Good eco damage for sure. Taking out one of the expansions already. Yeah, Neutrun's down to just only, like... He's lost his Omnivale. He's going to lose his Othstel next. He has his Tosrel. Okay, he's going to go after that first. That makes sense. No Sovroleths allowed. And then he'll go after the Othstel. It will be a full kill. There's no hope for it there. So that very expensive setback there after losing a big army engagement to Blade, who is now moving on Wen. What is the fate of the Shambler's Terran air army? That's the question right now. Is he going to get out scot-free? Sikralisks are here. Mutas are here. Remember that there's... all of these units will attack air. The Gorgs a bit less effectively, but looks like they will be a wrap as the Gorgons just... it's Gorgons and Gorgokors, you know what I mean? Wen now getting absolutely routed by Blade. This is not an outcome I expected, but the Eidolon dominant army getting engaged upon by just way too much HP. Can't actually snipe him down and not enough to hold him back. We've got more Pariahs and Eidolons in the army. He's making as many as he can, just pumping out the gateway chaff, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He might end up getting set back massively. But we've got Tier 3 Terran on an outer ring around the middle of the whole map center. Neutrun, these units are on... attack move? I don't know what happened there, but they're going to get munched on. I thought maybe they were on like a follow order to each other or something. But nonetheless, the Eccentralisks and the Sycralisks are doing their best to hold back the air stack. Some of the splash damage finally leaking on in. He's going to have to fall back. Looks like he won't be able to go for the complete kill. And his wounded Sky Terran army is going to have to recoup a little bit. Got Apostles here. Got some Gorgons. And some Gorgorcors. Gorgonricor. The Mortothricor is just feasting in the middle of the map. Neutron might end up sending them up towards Blade Hollow's base. But as of right now, it looks like maybe there's a little bit of a draw. I say that. Not quite the standstill that maybe Wen was hoping for. His Eidolons are going to get pounced upon as Toyota is getting a little bit heckled here, but his Magnetars are out, his Cataphracts are out, and he's adding some Iron Foundries. Tier 3 Terran Mech will soon be on the field. Really, I got to hand it to Blade. He's built this, like, kind of omni-comp, really. He's got splash damage to cover any air stacks, and he's got artillery, he's got face tanking potential with the Tetzoricors. He's got so much that he can use. Now, the Sycralisks are really going to be needing to shine here for Neutron as he's basically getting routed. His Iral Iris sniped with no cancel. That's going to be a wrap for most of his advanced production as well. He basically has no production facilities. It looks like that's exactly what Shambler's going for, just eliminating by killing all of the factories. And this is the last gateway? Is this it for Neutron? Is he about to be eliminated? That's it! A wrap for Neutron. GG has to be called. Wen is now being absolutely pushed in by Blade. Looking very, very rough. But there's lots of engrams, lots of more units for Wen that he might be able to try to make something happen in. He's going to waypoint a bunch of Cabalists in, just like what he did versus Hit 'em Up earlier. But there's a Daedala coming, Tier 3 Terran for Blade Hollow. An opportunity, potentially. I don't know if he has much detection to deal with all those Cabalists. Now it's really just a face-off between Shambler and Toyota, it feels like, while Wen and Blade duke it out and decide who's going to win versus who. Here come the Anti-Worker Brigade. They will most likely defeat the Omniveil as well if Blade is not careful. He doesn't really have many combat units here, you know what I mean? Toyota has so much money. There was the... Look at that! That was a humongous pick there, the Xenolith. It was detection and it was recall, but it looks like the Pariahs are going to be able to hold off the assault after all. That might have been the last trick up the sleeve, the last ace up the sleeve for Wen, but actually it was a Joker card. Very unfortunate there. Tier 3 now on the way here for the Shambler. He's going to go Tier 3 Terran. Makes sense. He's definitely allowed Terran to dominate his composition right now. Looks like he might be setting up yet another base. Slowly expanding into Raineril's position. The Magnetars are going to get some good value here. Looks like all the Gorgons are gone already. Very, very nice. Bon. That's French. You're Polish. Oh, bonk. There you go. Okay. He's even got an Eccentralisk. Or, sorry, Anti-Cthon. I gotta remember all the names for all the races in this mode, that's for sure. Shambler just gonna go ahead and waypoint his air units around, see what else is around. What else can he do? And now descending upon his opponent with a bunch of Gorgons, he'll break down one of these Iron Foundries. There are Centaurs available, as well as some Watchdogs. His Daedala could be targeted here. He's got to be on watch. Uptectons out of the Ancestrals. There's so many of them. Wen is going to be able to hold back this tide. He's even got some Paladins out, Tier 3 Terran mech of his own. The Daedala is rooted. It cannot lift off. It was frozen by the Gorgons. That will have to be rebuilt, but hey, Toyota's got so much money anyway. Picks the Seraph. That's about it here for Shambler. He's going to have to fall back, lest he end up getting routed. There's a couple of units here and there, and really he's just kind of biding time right now. Until the Magnetars pull the whole army in. See ya, nerd. Still has a bunch of Gorgs he could maybe deploy at some point. Blade has indeed been routed by all of the Uptectons. Has to fall on back. Doesn't have the greatest economy. Also not really spending his money right now, right? There's a Daedala being produced and 7 Gorgons. That's it for Shambler. We've got a diaspora of units here. Mostly siege units. Eidolons, Uptectons, Paladins for Wen. No Pariahs left over, but he might not need it as his Uptecton count is high enough that he can clear anything on the ground. Big attack here from Toyota, and I don't know if Shambler can hold versus it. The apex of the Terran Armada is deployed. Anyone still alive or hit mid? I don't think that's going to happen. Blade and Wen have been absolutely running amok. Look at that, he even stole some Gorgons. His Anti-Chthons are just absolutely... You know, Shambler trying to do his best to see if he can maybe call for some help here, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. We've got some phalanxes. We don't have any anti-air defense over here, and Toyota actually hasn't been making anything. You know, he's been all in on the micro, so he is going to lose a lot of workers, but he's got 30,000 minerals, so Not really the biggest of deals. We don't have any detection here. The Seraph did get focused down earlier, but I suppose he can use the Magnetars to kind of like Yamato the Lake is positioning, you know what I mean? He's like, damn, I've been foiled by Lake, by a tier 1 unit. Now he's losing everything in the middle of the map. Needs to get some more units out there post-haste. His Durandals are the only thing shooting back. Adding some Watchdogs if he can. Antichthons, Magnetars, Cataphracts. Blade making 12 Vilgora cores as he starts to get his own Iron Foundry up. But is it going to be fast enough? Now the army of Toyota does end up retreating. Looks like there was a Seraph that sent in a Radiate somewhere. There you go. That'll be his detection to continue pushing into Shambler's base. Most of his units that are very, very powerful are obviously the air ones. He could have just maybe flown into the main base here and punched Shambler right in his punished head. But I'm not quite sure that that's going to be possible. Nanite Assembly starting up at 12. Shambler has the income. Optecton's just blanketing the area in plasma. Glassing Blade Hollow's base the manual way. It looks like that's that's going to be the opportunity here. Paladins to splash. That's going to be a little bit rough since they obviously splashed themselves. There's some Archons filtered in. That's definitely a good move. Optecton's just absolutely annihilating, but the Gazithalors have arrived. If they kill those Paladins, and they will, there's not really that much anti-air in here. We've got some Archons as well. Unfortunately for Wen, he is going to have to fall back as the Tier 3 Zerg Air is deployed. We've got plenty of Gorgons, plenty of Wyverns scrambling towards the base of Toyota, but he is not on the defensive. Instead, he is pushing forward. These Lake is getting a ton of value. No detection yet, but maybe some of the units will stand on those Lake is errantly. The Seraph needs to move back there. He's going to lose a lot of ground army. The counter push is big. Zoryu's coming in to soak up some of the ground damage as, well, he's only really got Phalanxes to defend. Some Magnetars are here, but they're busy dealing with those Zoryus. Definitely need to get on the other position. Oh, Blade's being run up on. Blade's being run up on by Archons. The Paladins are standing by in case the Gezis stick around, and they are not going to. That might be a wrap. Blade might be routed. He's got nothing in production. He's got barely anything coming. Some Cataphracts here to try to defend. Utter chaos has ensued. It's a death push. Shambler might not be able to route this at this point. We've got 7 Cascathalors being made by Blade, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. His natural will not stop this assault in time. Toyota stepping forward. He's got a reclaimed Lakiz or two. He's going to go ahead and burrow them. It's funny what he makes the time to do. Some Droluts are here as well. Looks like most of the army has indeed been routed. Oh, look, I'll have a really Rocore that perpetually reanimates. You'll be beneath me, Toyota. Okay. But you'll lose the game as a result. He's really trying to convince him, you know? Toyota definitely the front runner to win if he cleans Shambler up in a timely fashion. He's even got Valkyries! I do not know what does it mean. Shambler losing units to Valkyries is like the, if that were to happen, that's like, you know, Mavericks dying, killing Drakedons or whatever, you know what I mean? His Cathalors are trying their best to hold Wen off. They might thin the herd a little bit, but I don't think they're going to stop it. The Gezcat Grotto is going to be kaput. Nothing else in production for Blade. He spent down all of his money. Toyota cleaning up over here. Shambler not going to have that much. I think it's going to be down to a showdown between Wen, who won out over Blade, and Toyota, who seems to be winning out over Shambler. But we can't count Shambler out already. He's got a ground force. He can try to ground and pound. Nanite Assembly is being made. They're making Minotaurs. He's got his own Magnetar stack. Needs to be very judicious about how he does it. I like Blade's style, and it was pretty respectable for a good while versus not just Wen, but also Neuchern, who he weakened enough for Shambler to basically take him out of the game, right? Looks like Toyota is going to have to suffer another attack by Shambler. A Magnetar is kind of out in the middle of nowhere and won't be able to evacuate, so that's a wrap. He tried to get a Yamato off. Not enough health. Shambler moving to Reynaril's base. The artist formerly known as. A single Nanite Assembly found in the middle of the map. Not going to be able to get any units off. Will he ever check 12 o'clock? That's the question. A reclaimed Magnetar is out. He might be able to use that to Yamato some things. Or will he even get it off? It doesn't really look like it. Shambler only now realizing he has one. Yeah, he's going to fall back and maybe he'll get a juicy Yamato off at some point. Oh, no. Oh, he got the Phalanxes. It was about as juicy as it could be in that situation. Well, Toyota's cleaned house from a lot of Shambler, but he's still got 3 bases and a 4th one coming in Rain Rule's main. So there is that. The Uptectons and the Paladins are getting so much work done here, but it is taking a little bit of time. Blade Hollow trying to scout around, not able to really do too much there, with Wen having a good stack of Eidolons and Dracodons and Engrams in his main base. For defense, you see. Toyota still has so much money. He's finally rebuilding his Daedalus so he can add more production. But he is not actually moving towards 12 o'clock, so Shambler could still sweep the map later on if he gets enough of a Doom stack of air. Remember, Magnetars do deal splash. He's found the Rainaril base, so he's going to clear that. Maybe he'll still end up taking a look at that 12. He's going to have to pull back over here. Eventually, the Anticathons are brought down. Some Gorgons, likely reclaimed Gorgons. Yeah, they were. are going to be there. Oh, no, he's reclaimed the Anticathons. Now, that's dangerous. But it looks like the Magnetars are here to try to put an end to this. See if they can't just Yamato stuff. Yeah, there we go. Now, he mostly Yamatos out the Apostles, right? And the one Anticathon. Oh, okay. It looks like he managed to clear it out. I was worried for a second that he wouldn't be able to kill all the corpse creators. Blade still has a couple of bases. He's going to see if he can rebuild. Now the Archon's descending. There's so many of them from Wen. And they are a force to be reckoned with, my friends. For fuck's sake, says Toyota, as he has to rally his units over here to clear that. Still has not dealt with Shambler in the top. There are so many Archons and a group of Tier 3 mech, Tier 4 Protoss gonna be combining here. I don't think that he can outright defeat Toyota, but by golly, that's gonna be a lot to get through. Ministry's being brought down. Remember Toyota? Oh no, his Daedalus is gonna die again. He just rebuilt that thing. Oh, 3,600 of each resource so far. Keep tabs on whether or not he drops another one. He's depleted the main base. Me when. True. Yeah. Well, the Uptectons are definitely getting some value here. Paladins to deal with any stack. You know what? I'm amazed, but I think Wen might have actually won this. He needs to keep enough forces to defeat Shambler afterwards. He hasn't stomped on Blade yet, which is really funny. Yeah, sure, I've got 2 bases. Well, I might as well drop the Nirolaris. Reduced to only Zerg. Yeah, the stacks are really killing all that splash damage, really ruining the Magnetars. He's only got like 4 more? Yeah, I don't think he's got enough. I think Wen's actually won it. At least in this situation. It's still a game. It's still a game because the air stack is now descending. We are going to get some Shambler on this. But I feel like Wen still... He did it cleanly enough. Magnetar Yamatos did not get off, so we're looking at a very rough situation here. The Uptecton's clearing the ground. The Paladin's destroying the air stacks. Luciferius lives on within all of us. What's really funny is he didn't even play a Paladin in D&D. Explain that one. Reclaimed Uptecton. Very cool sight, but it will be shut down relatively fast. And Toyota is routed by the Minotaurs and the Magnetars. Okay, so those last couple of moves were actually pretty impactful. The Uptectons are going to be completely useless versus the Minotaurs and the Magnetars. The Paladins are what we are going to need to see more out of Ren? Ren? That's not a player. We are going to... Oh my god, the lifted Nanite assembly just relocated quickly. Now, here come the first couple of shots from the Paladins, right? This is going to be a big moment because it is going to help deal a lot of splash damage here, especially to the Magnetars. How many Paladins are there? Looks like a Yamato is good. We're going to need to see another one. Those Magnetars are getting awfully low. It looks like only 1 Yamato even went off. 2 Paladins dead so far, I think, maybe 3. Yeah, the Minotaurs are stacking up a little bit too much. Wen is definitely standing a good chance of cleaning this up without even really getting his reinforcement Paladins in here. He should definitely focus down the Magnetars, for my money, because they will obviously Yamato later on into the game. Looks like that's exactly what Shambler is doing. And a couple of those were pretty low. So, yeah, okay. At the end of the day, Shambler withstands with 14 Minotaurs, 3 Magnetars. Toyota's trying to rebuild inside Shambler's Rainaril base. That's a mouthful. And unfortunately for Blade Hollow, he chose the wrong base to build his Zyril Iris in. So he's going to have to go ahead and see if he can rebuild from there. Now, at this point, you probably just send all of these Optectons in many corners of the map to see if you can find out where Shambler's base of operations is. He spent down his bank. Toyota has the bank that no other player can match right now. I guess the gas bank, Wen has more, but... Shambler has a single Centaur wreaking havoc. He's desperately trying to irradiate it, but it has so much health. Look at this. He's got a reclaimed set of Fulcrums. He's going to be making reclaimed units because his only Masons that he had left were reclaimed. Oh, no. Well, he's got some Drolets over here, but those are also reclaimed. This is the only... He can make non-reclaimed Zerg. He can make non-gimped Zerg. I can't believe it. He's making one Goliath. That should be enough to clear the Centaur. But don't worry, there's more where that came from. No! Poor Goliath. Poor Blade! Blade! No! He's been found. Excised. When massing up a gigantic army, you're going to go ahead and roll over him. That's rough. That's rough, boys. Sorry, Blade. Nice try, though. I appreciate you trying to stick it in for a little bit longer. See ya. Well, it looks like it's just Shambler versus Wen, and I definitely favor Wen in this position. Toyota has one Zerg base here. A single lake is. He might want to run into the worker line of Shambler just to piss him off. Actually, it would be impactful. Denying this base for a while was also impactful. No, Miguel! Get your irradiate off. Close enough. Wen's got so many units, dude. It's crazy. So many endgame tech units. Iral Iris coming for Toyota. A reclaimed Iral Iris, but hey, it's good enough. A single Optecton has found Shambler's air army as well as the Ministry. Now, if I see that air army, I'm like, okay, hell yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and A-move everything else. But no, it looks like Wen wants to go right after it. He wants to hunt it down and find where it is. A couple more Optectons in the top right where Neutron once was. Might end up keeping them entertained for a little bit longer. But no, looks like Wen will be moving to the top half of the map instead. The left half of the map, I guess. The Atlas is cleared, so that's going to be a wrap here for Toyota. He obviously didn't have any more Masons, so... bit rough there. He's got one apostle. This is an apostle's brood right here, an apostle's organ. he's like, yes, I will rebuild. I must rebuild. Tier 3 Zerg. Go for those Akistra cores, infest everything. Now, no air units are with Wen. He's winning like a man with not a single air unit in sight. He is making some starports now. Obviously, he has Taloses and Witnesses at one point, but I mostly said that because he's not going to have vision up here to disrupt the mining of Toyota. He's not even going to be aware that Toyota is up here. So that will give him an opportunity to just kind of bypass, let Toyota build up a little bit more, maybe come into the game long enough, on a long enough time scale. We see the gas caps coming. Toyota only has that one mine. He can't really leave the base without like invoking a lot of pain. And now the rallies are going to come through and probably kill him. He doesn't really have that many combat units. You know, I think the Kabbalists might be enough, but we'll see what happens where those rallies end up going. Shambler's air army is going to have to get relocated from the right side of the map to deal with the Archon Ball. Like, there's just so much here that you're going to need to get some serious Magnetar Yamatos off, and that is not going to be enough. 3 of them immediately eviscerated, and they charge forward even faster once the Archons start to fall, thanks to Vengeance. Only a few Minotaurs left. Not really a whole... Not looking too good for Shambler. It looks like our mystery man, whoever Wen is, will end up winning this FFA. Hasn't found this position here for Toyota. But I really think you need to wait. Shambler would need to be locked in a duel with Wen for like hours at this point. You know what I mean? 5 hours. At least 30 minutes, you know, 20 minutes. So. Yeah, sure. On my way. Die a coward's death. Fucking got him, dude. Shambler's slapped by his own stuff. Is this Shambler's cousin? Shambler's brother? Is this Boomer Man? I don't know who Wen is, but he's a cool guy. Anti-Shambler Society. Lives on. Ah. There's your Death Blob. He's got Paladins and Patriarchs and Archons. All of those splash. So, oh, look at this. See ya. Erased by Paladins. Goodbye. Shambler's mistake was thinking that anybody else was alive. There is no hope here. Only Protoss and Paladins. The Golden Republic stands strong. Not exactly a water war. There's not really any water to fight over. Not even really that much salt, so you can't even say tears or anything, you know? 4 Minotaurs on the way. They're just going to get routed by Paladins. Yeah, turn around. Find another place to go. Hey, look at all the Taluses. They don't have a weapon, but maybe they can just disassemble them. Single Archon steps forward. Many more Archons arrive. A lot of Kabbalists were made as well. There is this one base here that is Terran, in fact. A Daedala hiding behind 2 ministries. Looking like a UMS map or some shit. Trying to reset everywhere. I don't think it's going to happen, boys. I think we've crowned a winner of this FFA. The one Kabbalist getting some good kills in. The Archon clearinghouse. Yeah, Tectons are doing a little jig. They can't shoot up, so makes sense. I think Shambler might end up getting eliminated here. He hasn't been found in the top right or the mid right. There goes the nanite. They're going to lift. He's doing the lift move. Toyota has rebuilt over here. His mining is so slow because he only has reclaimed units. I don't know what happened to his one non-reclaimed Droleth. I think it might have just gotten killed or something. Nuh-uh. He's already doing it. He's already leaving. He's got 4 nanite assemblies lifted off. The last stand of the Minotaurs. You going nowhere. I don't know who Win is, but I like him. If you beat Shambler in a free-for-all, I think it's funny. So, there you go. Shambler's just going to continue trying to cockroach. Normally, I would accuse Shambler of, like, delaying the inevitable. But in this case, he actually doesn't know that it's only him. I think if he had shared vision of Toyota, he'd be like, oh. He might still not defeat. He might still not, like, concede at that point, but, you know. This is what happens, you know? You just don't know. You don't know what's going on. So, still got to find a couple more spots on the map. Cascathalors are going to rain down some pain. Toyota's mace has been found. There's plenty more where that came from, though. This might actually be able to hold him off. We'll see. He has made a lot of Tier 3 Zergs, so it's a possibility. He's going to lose his Gath, though. Anyone alive? Everywhere you go, there's more when. Goodbye, Alcagilisk. Yeah, actually, it looks like Toyota will be able to narrowly hold this off. There's more Archons where that came from, though. So many more Archons where that came from. the Talus is following them so that there's permanent vision. I love that move. The Alcagilisk is drifting so much it's impossible to steer. Unsmiley face. Yeah, if he had steered his Alcagilisk a little bit better, guys, he would have won versus all these Archons. Now that my face cam is active on these FFAs, I can always do that. There you go. Goodbye, Alcagilisks. There's one Cascathalor. Reclaimed Cascathalor. Slowly wandering away. Sundogs have been marshaled. Very good. Very good at hunting down these stray structures, that's for sure. Well, Toyota will call GG. That will leave us with only Shambler, who will surely concede. Surely. He will surely concede. He has no military production. He is making 1 Iron Foundry. That's it. You stole my line, by the way. Okay. He left before. All right. Wen is our champion. And I don't know who the hell that is, but he wins. GG's. Very cool stuff. All right, what time is it? Oh, shit. I think I got time for one more game, and I know that a massacre was requested, but I don't really know what to do about that. I guess we can do Butcher's Corner. What's going on, Charmeleon? Oh wait, hold on. I gotta close it and do massacre. There you go. Sucky ducky. Zombie player. It's true, Green Eggs. It's true. Hey, what's going on, James? If you're still there. You asked why we got rid of supply depots. We got rid of supply in general. Supply depots didn't have a use then. We might bring them back for, like a wall or something. I don't know. We'll think about like base infrastructure and whatnot. Like I really don't know what a good look would be for that, but it could be neat. It could be neat to like SimCity stuff or whatever. Maybe it would be like a stationary structure that would provide the Azazel armor aura or the Antseal shield or something like that. I don't know. I didn't pay attention. Is everyone ready? All right, so we have RRR. Wait, we have Blade Hollow, Shambler, Hit, Neuchern, Sucky Ducky. Who's the other guy? Toyota? Did Toyota R? Toyota, you are? IMR, okay. Let's go, boys! Let's go! I gotta rest my voice after this because I gotta do D&D and I gotta do all kinds of voices. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Butcher's Corner. This is a Team FFA map by Biddy B and the Shambler. I think Shambler did the map and Biddy B did the triggers. Pretty good. LMAO Pro. I didn't use the updated vision one. This is what I have in the lobby. In the repo. What is broken? What happened? Okay. Great. I was asking him what was broken, and he just doesn't tell me what's broken. He just LMAOs. This is why the Anti-Shambler Society was formed. Incapability of understanding basic communication. Anyway, it's not the Anti-Shambler Society anymore. It's the Anti-Salt Society. Isn't that lovely? All right, so we have Blade Hollow and Toyota. These guys are like the aspirant class in Toyota's case and the hotshot class in Blade Hollow's case. These guys are the underdogs. They are a team of newer players. And we've got our Blood Protoss in Blade Hollow and our Eggshell Blue Terran in the top right. We've got Sucky Ducky. I have no idea who this is. It could be like P-Sense or somebody else's alt. It is... so this is... he's on a team with Hit 'em Up. Hit 'em Up seems to be... What would you say this color is? It's not just white. It's some other color. Platinum, maybe? Oh, it is white. Okay, well, I haven't seen white Zerg in a while. Shambler lagging. And this one is like a dark spring green, forest green. Okay. And they are a team of Zergs in the bottom right. Very cool. In the middle of the map, proxying, as well as in the bottom left, we have the Shambler, red Terran. And we have Neutron, black Zerg. So that's them's the breaks. This is Massacre. You get twice as many units, and you don't harvest Vespene normally. Instead, you harvest it from killing enemy units and making your own units. You get 3 Vespene for each event. Looks like this forward stockade push will scout around. You'll see Shamblers see that nothing is in the top left. Toyota already going to be getting a little bit of value by attacking Hit 'em Up. That Hit 'em Up already has a forward base with the Quasis. Very nice. And it looks like both, Sakidoki has an expansion as well, so that's like a pretty greedy play. Theoretically, they could get ganged up on. Toyota has a treasury for his natural expansion. And Neutron has a natural expansion, but he's not mining from it yet, adding more hatches, adding a Hydra Thin. So basically, every gas expenditure early on is pretty, like, it's vital, right? But then eventually you're going to get flooded with so many units that you can afford to drop more gas expenditures, right? So when you see the gas start to get really up there, that's mostly because of that. Now, Shambler's going to attack in Toyota and Blade like early on, right? They're going to need to try to combine arms, stop Shambler from just stimming in and killing everything. So let's see the counter stim. Looks like it's a little bit late there for Toyota, and he obviously doesn't have nearly as many Mavericks. He's going to come back in and stim his other Mavericks here. Ah, really good hold, actually, from Blade. He made all the sims. Hierophant not really ideal in this situation, but I guess it must have, like, gotten an attack speed proc off or something. And these reinforcement stims actually kind of cut off the retreat. So a lot of Shambler's forces are going to be rendered obsolete. A lot of Zephyr Cores coming in from Hit 'em Up as well, attacking Neutron, and there's no localized production from Shambler, so he can't make units to defend this. Instead, it looks like he is going to be attacked next. Neutron going to have to unburrow. Oh, he doesn't really have that many workers left, it looks like. Now, Blade has lost all of his sims. But does he have more? He has a couple more. He's making some Legionnaires. I wouldn't really like that. Zealots are definitely more my speed versus Bio. A lift happens. The Shambler Masons are going to have to evacuate. Hit 'em Up's just going to kind of camp this position. I would just like leave one Zephyr Core there, but yeah, Sucky Ducky going to add in as well. Look at this. Rillero Cores versus Zephyr Cores. They're going to help in and attack each other. This has happened twice in 2 different FFAs. Isn't that funny? And it's Neutron both times making them versus Hit 'em Up, funnily enough. A couple of Quas are being made, but he actually went into another round of Droleth. Might have been a little bit greedy in that position. Somehow, we've got Blade and Toyota holding off, and the Bio Ball is about to try to descend upon Sucky Ducky and Hit 'em Up. It looks like Neutron might be able to hold with the next round of units. He's making some Rillero Cores, but they're going to take a moment, and the Quas are definitely going to be able to tear through these Zeths, but they're going to need a little bit of micro. Shambler still has not landed over in that position, instead trying to use his free little spots over here for mining. And Hit 'em Up hasn't actually been on the ball with the A move. Toyota's Mavericks in the top left are going to get cleared by Hit 'em Up. Still just making nothing but Mavericks and Cyprians. The Bio Ball now trying to wrap around and see what it can do. Shellacking a bunch of Hydras. I think what you probably want in this situation versus all this Bio is obviously going to be like the... He's clearly trying to go for like Bactylisks or something, but he doesn't yet have the Bactith tech, right? He doesn't actually have the swamp there. So a little bit unfortunate. He's going to end up losing his expansion. He's got a lot of Izira cores that just happened. Well, I don't know. It's still looking pretty valid in all cases. A bunch of Hatrosks going down for Neutron, by the way. He's still very much in the game. The Izira Corps having a really hard time actually getting in on top of Shambler's army, but okay, they will end up avenging it. There's a lot of Quas that were made by Sucky Ducky. He can and probably will send those to continue to exact vengeance on the Zerg player, but little do they know that's not where the stockades are, right? Like at some point it's got to click, oh, his stockades are somewhere else. Put them in the middle of the map. Now, the Bio Wars, Toyota going to fight against his opponent. He's got a lot of his own Hurakans, but it looks like maybe they got chewed up before they could really do much. Needed to maybe engage in a different way. The Izira Corps are going to come in here and witness Shambler being heckled a little bit. Here comes Neutron reinforcing with Quasilisks. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. No armor rend here for Shambler. He is going to need to stim his Mavericks on and try to kill these Izira Corps. He's got a lot of them in the back there. Yeah, Hit 'em Up is going to start falling back. Zorka Shroud on the way here for Neuchern. That's going to be his tech du jour. We've got the Idols and the Sims and the Zealots to see if they can finish the job here, but it's kind of like a tug of war as more and more Cyprians are put to the test. The Mavericks put to the sword. Zealots coming in here. Plenty of tankiness there. Blade Hollow is going to be able to probably finish cleaning house. Sucky Ducky taking a third base. His Quasilisks are engaging back at home, but Neuchern has a bunch of Hydras. Hasn't really been able to do much economic damage. That's going to change now that those Zethicors munch on those workers. And the Ministry, or rather the Stockades, have to lift. Oh, look at that Toyota. He's bloodthirsty. He's going after those Stockades. I'll give you a hint. DG is in my main. It means dark green. That's not really true. Your main is right here. But yeah, Neuchern's going to go ahead and clear out all of that. Blade Hollow going to hit him up, and Sucky Ducky's army together. 17 Zorius on the way. That's going to be obviously 34 because it's doubled. A lot of Zorius. A lot of meat. And hit him up is going for the ski-back scab after all. He will be going Bactylisks, it seems. So it looks like 3 of the 4 stockades ended up surviving, or maybe it was like 5 or something. The enemy team. There's 2 of them, Shambler. Shambler is in the lobby, so you expect typing. Looks like Hit 'em Up is going to go ahead and try to descend upon these anchors before they can get set up. Really, really nice timing there to defeat Toyota's defensive moves. He actually doesn't have anything in those anchors either. Stimmed Mavericks, a bunch of Hurricans. Should still have some legs over here. He's got plenty more Mavericks to go, but it's going to be a little bit before he can get there. 8 Bactylisks for Neuchern coming. You don't get double mutated units, so it's not like one Hydra turns into 2 Bactylisks. That would be pretty absurd. All right, here comes the beef. Will they be able to actually get in there? Another stim is necessary for those Mavericks if Toyota wants to keep it going. His Ministry is going to be under fire, and that will be a wrap for the Hydras. There's the stim. Huracan's helping to rend the armor, but those Zorius are not quite going to be able to make it happen. Well, Hit 'em Up is going to get heckled by the Neuchern army at the same time as he's continuing to try to push back. Zealots and Idols once again deploying. They need to get rid of all the Zorius first. There's so many of them. Oh my god, there's so many. There's 40 plus Zorius, dude. Good luck, my friend. Hit 'em Up evacuating his base. Can't hold it there. Is going to end up falling back away from the army, leaving the Zorius kind of out to dry here. They don't deal that much damage by themselves. A couple of Hydras are also left in with the party. Shambler expanding towards the top half of the map. Neuchern keeping his ally in the game with all of his hatches. He's absolutely able to push Hit 'em Up back and force him into a more defensive posture. He's got his own Bactyls, but not quite as many, it seems. There was a Shambler tile, but the Kagre covered it up. Hope you guys saw it anyway. I was going to say we have a moment of silence here, but that's not true at all. Neuchern is going to get descended upon. Very nice concave that Hit 'em Up has set up. He is going to end up losing the 6 o'clock, and Neuchern is very quick to try to take it. Tier 2 has been achieved for Sucky Ducky. He's got 14 pairs of mutas coming. He can use that to absolutely ravage the economy of one of these players. He's going to try to hold back the hordes of Huracan, Maverick, Cyprian, as well as the Idol Zealot. See if he can maybe do that with pure Zorius, while his opponent, his ally rather, is doing his best to rout the Zerg army. It's Black Zerg versus White Zerg. Feels like a game of chess, but it's a little bit more demented than I remember. And it looks like, yeah, Neuchern's actually falling back to a more consolidated position. There's plenty of bio where that came from for Shambler. Just streaming endless Mavericks, Huracans, and Cyprians out as fast as his fingers will type. And that's pretty fast. Huracans doing their best. Zorius are down to the low 20s. I feel like this is going to be enough to actually finish them off, but let's see. He's got more of them coming, maybe. I don't know. His Matrable Nest was just finished. We'll see if we get some convies. Instead, it's going to be Lakers. Spending down his gas as best he can. That's the main reason why he has so many Zorius, is they spawn the Roller Rocors, which give you more gas. Oh, there we go. A little bit of a push forward with the Cyprians. I don't know if he's got enough Huracans, though. He's got to deal with all the Aziricors. It's a real big mess here. But it looks to me like the Bio Force is going to be held at bay, and the Idols are going to get stepped on. The mutas are now ravaging Toyota's economy. Nothing left in that position. The Drollets arrived to take over, but the Mutas didn't clear those, so that's very funny. Tier 2 now coming for Neuchern. Ardent Authority for Mr. Blade. He needs many more idols to deal with all these Mutas. As of right now, there's 52 of them. They can just run in and kill the idols. That's a lot of splash damage, though. Does Sucky Ducky know to target them? He goes after the Lattice instead. That's a lot of softened up Mutas right there. Plenty more Mavericks and Cyprians. Muta's not really super good against the Cyprians themselves. Gonna end up losing quite a bit. The Ardent Authority being focused down. The Lattice dies to the bounces. Blade seems routed. Neuchern engaging with Zeth Quaz. Where are my SCVs? Well, we don't call them that anymore. But, you know. The Hurricanes are like, hey, you can't mine here. Hydra Izzy Zoryu is trying to hold Shambler at an arm's length while the Mutas get everything done in the top right. Wow, we're really in a bit of a brawl today. I didn't expect the Massacre to... I thought this game would be over real quick, but evidently not. We have Tier 2 for Neuchern and for Sucky Ducky. We'll see if they end up leveraging it anytime soon. Shambler's very close to affording an Atlas himself. We'll see if he goes for it. As Neuchern falls back, the Lakers are going to go ahead and kind of consolidate in one spot, but they're not really able to get in the way of Shambler and his opponent. Now we got Zealots descending on to finish off the job of the Cyprians. It's a sandwich here. Everybody fighting in the same spot. What an FFA. FFA moment. Toyota exacting economic vengeance. More lattices being made. I'm not quite sure what happened to the Muta stack. Oh, okay, there it is. Still good and healthy. I think he had like 57 or something, and now he's got 42, so... Life, the universe, and everything on those Mutas. Clearing out Neuchern in the bottom. Drollets are arriving to try and take this base, but it doesn't look like it's happening right now. Toyota flanking the position here. There's only one side for the static defense. Sucky Ducky in a lot of danger right now. His Mutas have made a bit of a death pact. Cyprian's obviously engaged with them a little bit. I guess at the very least he can try to hamper Shambler's growth. As of right now, hit him up diving forward with Hydra back to Izzy. It's absolutely running roughshod over the Quaz army. But look at the Hurricanes, look at the Mavericks. It feels like Shambler should be able to hold on this. Sucky Ducky, on the other hand, not really able to. He's pushing his army out in the other direction. I think he might want to try to, like, stop his opponent from, like, attacking into him. He's, like, trying to psych him out a little bit by attacking him and forcing a recall, but instead, Toyota's pushing forward, and he's now starting to endanger. The Mutas are flying over. They're getting eviscerated by all the Cyprians. Poor Sucky is a bit of a ducky. It looks like with the Bactyls still alive, the Iziracors and the Hydralisks are holding this Bioforce at bay. It's a massive concave here, a firing line, and the Cyprians are going to fall. The Mutas descend. Maybe the call was made. Don't give a shit about Toyota. We need to kill Shambler. I don't know, just an idea. That might leave Blade and Toyota in a prime position to defeat their opponents. What is Hit 'em Up going to do with all of these forces? He's making Bactyls behind it. He's going to need to turn around and stop this, or he's just going to say, no, I'm just going to end the game. I'm just ending. Toyota even curious. Maybe. Maybe we did, actually. I don't know. Are you losing? That's a good question. Well, it seems like Shambler's in the right game anyway. Nope, I'm winning. Shambler's desperately holding on. Well, I don't know if Sucky Ducky is actually desynced. He just said, oh, and then started moving his forces back, which I think is very amusing. But Hit 'em Up has just been building up a force. Probably, he can't really deal with that right now. He needs to reinforce the front lines versus Shambler, or Shambler's just going to hold him. The Mutas descend upon Shambler's stockades, actually, so maybe not. Shambler just going to start setting up more stockades in the top left. He's got a lot of bases, not really a lot of tech. Oh, there we go. The Zorius in the lake is... Yeah, I don't know. It really is a... That's like a legit part of the game? What the hell? I was like, why isn't he defending? Shambler now descending. Gateways to soak up some damage. Not a bad idea. A little bit of an outpost here as Blade just throws his army into the mix. He's got a lot of resources. He could definitely be doing some more with that. Especially in the mineral department, right? Here come the Lakers Burrow. Toyota going after the important target, the Iris. But if those Harakans end up getting minced, well, he's gonna get one armor rend on it, but I don't think it's gonna be quite enough. Yeah, there you go. I can't believe what just happened, dude. Sucky didn't even notice that he was being killed. He's like, oh yeah, I should do something about that. Unbelievable. All right, well, we've got 35 mutas. The last stockade is not quite going to be able to do enough. Here come the zealots. WTF. I don't know why Shambler would think that. The walls are closing in around our bottom left team. Neutron is still alive in the game. He's got Lyrilisks out as well. There's a lot of Bactyls being made. And a lot of Bactyls already out. I think Shambler's basically wrapped. He doesn't really have that much. He's trying to make stockades, but Toyota's on him with a bunch of Harakans. Team Ahmed blasting off again. With the walls crumbling around him. Yeah, Blade is... he's rebuilt kind of his economy. He definitely... I feel like he definitely needs to be doing more. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and build some more stuff over here, but he definitely could spend his money a bit better. We'll see what he does. You guys are so fucked. Well, there you go. Maybe Sucky Ducky is Grass Eater. That could be a... I mean, he's got the Muta strat, right? That's like exactly what you would expect. Oh, glorious Mutalisk death! Ooh! Body slammed. Actually, didn't kill that many. We went from 35 to 27. That's not too bad. Neutron trying to engage here. Got some Vilgora cores out for Sucky Ducky. Trying to be a front for hit-em-ups Hydra-backed. Remember, this is Massacre mode, guys. This is not... You don't harvest gas normally. You harvest it by killing and by making units. The Muta's diving back and forth. Toyota Blade definitely kind of being a tag team duo here. Neutron trying to hold versus hit-em-up. I don't think that's going to work out, especially with no support from his ally. Oh, yeah. The Lyrilisks were a good idea in theory, but like when you can't reinforce them to the same number, Bactylisks are going to deal with them. Good for a raiding party. Hit him up, reset 6 o'clock. Might have been a good target for the Lyrilisks to go towards. Well, looks like maybe the stockade spam here might be able to... I don't know. Idols just absolutely wreck Mavericks in these kinds of engagements. Toyota going to come back in with his own Bioblob. Neutron being finished off by the Bactyl hordes. He's making his own retrieval nest, but I think it'll be too little too late. Zephyrcore is waypointed towards the Harakans of Toyota. That's not going to get anything done. But the Mutas might be able to come in and do something. Look, Blade made all these gateways like a fastest player or something, but he never resaturated his expansion. He hardly has any workers. He's got some idols off to the side. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a successful move there. He's adding more gateways. He's like, yeah, screw it, dude. I got so much mineral bank, I don't need workers. Yeah, I suppose so. Toyota has to do something about that. There's the idols spring into action. Cyprians spring into action. Blade, eventually, my man, you need to make some probes, some scribes, bro. Make some scribes. Vilgoricor is staying alive forever versus Mavericks, of course. What else is new? Kaffirlosk was made. That's 300 Vespine, dude. That's an enormous amount. Oh my god, hit him up. You have so many units. Yeah. Get all the units. Get all the units. He's like control clicking the individual units, and he's now, instead of like just... I guess that's actually a bit more convenient than box selecting, thinking about it. He might box select like workers or larvae or something. So there they go. Streamlining directly towards the Harakans. Will it be enough? Toyota has basically run roughshod over Shambler. He's falling back now, but yeah, the rest of his army's still here, kind of committed, kind of dug in. You know, he did make subscribe. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. The Convolisks of Sucky Ducky are deploying. A dead player, he says. I think by this point, everybody should know to just disregard anything Shambler types in a free-for-all, right? Like, isn't that just known by now? They're still not actually through this position. No idea you were dying. Wink. Meanwhile, idols, Cyprians, zealots. That's all that we have right now. The Harakans have been absolutely massacred. You looked like you were thriving. I wonder why. That's so weird, isn't it? It's almost like he's got a bunch of more bases. Shambler gaslighting Toyota live on stream. My PC is also dying. Is it that many? Actually, Shambler, it was 36. More units reinforcing. Actually, cutting off the Cyprians. Oh my god, the Bactals are just... There's so many Bactals, dude. Pre-stim on the Mavericks, but the bounces are just going to get absolutely out of hand. He's finally making scribes, but the Zealots, he's making 10 Zealots a pop. They needed to be here yesterday. Toyota's got more men coming on in. The Rillero course, the last stand. Spoiler, I don't think that's going to do too much. He's got a bunch of Cyprians, so it's just pure Cyprian. That's all Shambler makes. Maverick Cyprian. Oh no, Rill. Hit him up his, quaking in his boots, like the hotshot says. Quaking in boots. Alright, well, it does look like this force will be enough to break through. There are some reinforcements that can come down, but they're all Mavs. Rilla last stand, yeah. True. Rilla last stand record. Shambler typing. Wrong. This is no, yeah, true. Look at all the Rills. Fuck yeah. Chat, am I cooked? What do you guys think? Should you type yes for Toyota? Deep fried. I'm incinerated. Hey, he's still got a hatch rust there though. Oh, maybe Sucky Ducky will finish him off. He's just trying to clear out all of the Cyprians. Hit him up trying to take that base. Very funny. Where are you, by the way? Hit him up, still rocking and rolling right about now. Still rocking and rolling. Look at all the gateways. Oh, he's got 4 workers. He's got 2 workers. Blade, my man. How did he... I can't believe he didn't spend through his bank this fast. Like, what is he... Where's his mining pin? Well, hit them up in grass. Look like they might be set up for success. The Mavericks are doing their best, but they cannot hold versus the combined arms. The Shambler just doing his best. Looks like Grass's ministry kill quest has not gone exactly to plan. Neutron's still alive, if only barely. And the Zero Course are here to clear the sets. No! Oh, God. Okay. Well, Shambler can try to help him with that. Blade, on the other hand, he's finally out of money! Blade is finally out of money! Kind of. They still got enough to make 3 more Zealots. There are 3 Tensenders being made by Toyota. Where is he making them? Oh, he's building them over here. He wants to fill them with Cyprians. He hopes that that will be enough. Meanwhile, Shambler being heckled by Zerg. Neutron being heckled by Zerg. This hatch has not yet been found. Convilles are fucked. Yummy. T2, by the way. Yeah. The flag is flying. The Terrans will endure. Thank you, DF. Is there empty room on this map? No. Endless death. Endless Rilla-Rocore death. Oh my god. Oh, one of them has fallen. One of the 10 senders has fallen. My God. Now this is good shit right here. The Riddler of course ate the Nexus. And Shambler desperately rebuilding Hurricanes. Oh, look, he's got a mining base. There. Wait just a minute. Oh, I see. Hey, if he had the Calculator Lake, he could have made Calculus, and maybe he would have had a chance. The last 10 sender. Our final flag bearer. This is where the Terrans make their final stand. And it's gone. You know, all the tier 2 that he could have done. And he chose that. Well, Grass finished that one off. Convols are fair. It's true, they are. They're so expensive, they're fair. Especially in Massacre mode, are you kidding me? Neutron making one convol is like, oh, I wonder if this will save me. That's really funny. Well, Grass Eater is getting tier 3. Azurg. Hit him up, diving up towards the 12 o'clock, now that the frames are free of Toyota's tyranny. It looks like the map isn't configured to defeat the players and turn them into witnesses or whatever, so he's still in the scoreboard there. But have no fear, he is in fact defeated. There's one ministry floating in the island. I don't know why Shambler doesn't just Jeej. Nath Kamikaze. Oh shit. Oh, there he is. He's out. And then, so too was Neutron. GG, boys. That was, that was a wrap. That was a funny game. All right. Well, lads, we did go for a while. That was a good number of attacks. I appreciated that. Good number of moves. Good number of epic. Well, good shit. That is going to be GG for me as well. I will be doing some D&D prep, but I'll be back tomorrow for a dev stream. I'll work on like a 3v3 map maybe, get some more progress made on some technicals, and get all of that good stuff done. So I'll catch you guys then. Peace.